Very happy. Allman Brothers, Blue Sky. What's going on, Morgan Spurlock?
Great to be back, man. I think this is the closest I've gotten to see you in the shortest amount of time.
Yeah?
It's fantastic.
I love this because usually you're in and out. You got people around you.
Now it's just me and you.
Dare I say an entourage these days. Morgan Spurlock's got an entourage.
It's a very unattractive one at that.
Yeah, and we just started talking about Rats as the Allman Brothers was playing, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't we talk about that on the air for a second? First of all, I don't have to promote it anymore.
Yeah, it's out in the universe now. If people haven't seen it, now it's on iTunes.
Well, what I was going to say is I don't have to bullshit whether it was good or not. I do have to do that sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes I do have to do that. Never with you, though, my friend.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
But Rats was amazing.
Yeah, no, thanks. I mean, we were so proud of that movie. I love, we wanted to come out and make a really creepy movie that would freak you out as much as a horror film was, and I think we did.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you felt the rats just scratching on everything during the whole documentary.
Yeah, it makes you so uneasy, and it's one of those things that today, oh my God, let me show you what I saw on the street today. This is fantastic. I will share it with you, and then you can explain to the viewers. This was right outside where I was going to have breakfast today.
Homeless guy jerking off?
No, that would have been good. Not relevant, but it would have been good. Okay, this is fantastic. You want to pass that over?
Yeah.
There we go.
Wow, I kind of see it already.
It's phenomenal.
Wow, no way. How big was this rat?
That rat was probably about 10 to 11 inches long.
Really?
Yeah. And so what you guys can't see who are listening is that it was run over in the street. It was run over on Crosby Street.
Okay.
And its eyes completely were bulging out of its head like a cartoon.
All right. Now that makes more sense because I was about to ask you, why is its eyes bulging?
Yeah, it was apparently run over sometime in the middle of the night. But it is disgusting.
I thought it
and kind of awesome.
I thought it committed suicide because it doesn't want Trump to be president. Hey-o. And the music for Rats.
Oh my God, Pierre Takal, who was our editor as well. He was the editor and the composer, and he's a genius. This is the third movie we've done with him. And what he does is, he'll edit all day and then go home at night and compose music just for him to cut to.
Oh my God, really?
And yeah, so it's incredible. But so when we brought him on, we basically said we'd love for you to do the score as well. And it's this awesome, really John Carpenter, driving 80s synth that's so creepy and freaky, and it is such a home run. But the guy killed it. And when we premiered the movie at Fantastic Fest in Austin, the guys from Mondo, when they saw the film, they were like, "What are you guys doing with the soundtrack?" And so we put it out through Mondo on iTunes. It's going to come out on vinyl in the spring. I mean, it's awesome.
That's amazing.
So cool. Yeah.
So he just goes home at night and he makes all that music.
That's right.
On his own.
Crushes it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you have to pay him a lot of money for that.
We pay him well. We pay him well because he's worth every penny. I mean, the guy is a genius.
I'm thinking he's doing two jobs.
Doing two jobs. Yeah. You pay for 1.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now the Rats is coming out on iTunes, and
it's on iTunes now. It'll be on Netflix in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, which is great. Yeah, so it'll be worldwide in just a couple weeks.
Do you add more material for the download?
For the iTunes version, it's the theatrical version. So the movie that we premiered at the Toronto Film Festival, Fantastic Fest, Beyond Fest, the Horror Fest in Colorado, that's that film. Okay. So we had to cut some stuff out for TV just for for rights and clearances and for censorship and also just for time.
Right.
So now what you're seeing the pure director cut on iTunes on Netflix.
Nice.
Yeah.
So all right, I got to check that out.
Yeah, check it out. It's good. It's even better seeing it without the commercial interruptions because it's it really sucks you in.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think of Trump?
It's here's the thing.
It's never good when it starts
here's being from
crazy,
West Virginia.
It's
crazy. It's so batshit crazy. But
can we all? Sorry to interrupt you, but can we all at least agree that it's crazy?
It's crazy,
and then we could argue points about this.
The fact that we voted for a reality star to be the president of the United States is unbelievable to me.
Yeah.
A guy who didn't release his taxes and didn't talk about it. But as I continue to tell people, I am this liberal hillbilly from West Virginia who lives in New York City now. So I totally understand this whole other side of people who feel like they were left out and aren't part of the conversation and are only viewed by the media as these flyover states who finally were you know what, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And I think that there were a lot of fuck you votes that were a part of this. I think there were a lot of people who were we're just not going to vote for her. My family being in that group of people who were we're not voting for her. Mm-hmm. And people who looked at this as a real protest vote of we don't want shit to be the same way.
Yeah.
But the question is what way is that going to be now?
Well, Well, I hope they're not disappointed because he's already backing off some of the things.
Well, it's like everything, which, again, Trump's not a dumb guy. Like, Trump is very smart. And I think Trump said exactly what he had to do to get elected. I really believe that.
Right.
Yeah.
I went to a kids' party downtown at the Fireman Museum, and I was walking by Trump Soho. And
Was it packed?
No, there was no one there.
Right. You go by Trump Tower on Fifth Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like Mardi Gras. It's like Mardi Gras every day. It's crazy.
I should have said that. It's actually kind of fun to go check out the energy over there.
Because there's more people like going in and out of Trump Tower now than there were in like 80 was when it was built.
Yeah.
And like and now there's like all the sand trucks around it that are like there to protect it from terrorism. Yeah. And the sheer volume of people that are there just to see it, people that are there to protest, people that are there to like just look at the spectacle. I mean, it is a madhouse over there.
And really fun to watch and check
amazing.
out.
It's amazing. I've gone by it multiple times. As I was coming here today, I got off the subway on 6th Avenue. I was like, do I got time to run by? And I was like, no, I got to go.
You kind of want to,
You kind of want to every time.
And we said it on the show, a couple things. Trump doesn't want to live in the White House. I told you guys. As soon as he took the tour down there, he's looking around like, what a dump.
Well, he's like Bloomberg. When Bloomberg came there, Bloomberg's like, I'm going to live here.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to live in Gracie Mansion. Forget about it.
Yeah, he's like, you know how I live? And you want me now to live this way? No way. So that's the first thing. He doesn't want to live down at the White House full time. And New York City's basically begging him to leave because they're like, we don't know how to do this.
Yeah. Like, it's going to be such a mess, like, getting him in and out of New York City all the time. Yeah. Like, at least when Obama would only show up, like, once or twice a year for, like, speeches or fundraisers.
On date night.
Yeah, exactly.
On date night. He brought Michelle here for date night.
But he's one of those good dates. He's like, babe, we're just going to go buy a fundraiser for a while. Right. We're going to raise a couple $1 million and then go to the theater.
Man, if you can't get laid after having all of Times Square shut down, going to a restaurant for just you and her.
Yeah.
And an in and out to any airport in the area.
That's right.
But the Trump thing is pretty wild. And New York City, like I said, they got the sand trucks and everything, but they just don't know how to secure the area because they got to secure the whole building.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And they're already shut down the airspace around that.
Well, the amazing
most
thing,
of Manhattan, I think, at this point.
Well, if you look at like that building compared to Javits on election night, where there were maybe like a dozen, 24 like Secret Service guys around Trump Tower. The traffic was still going by down on Fifth Avenue. Yeah. But at the Javits, like they shut it down for like a 3-block radius. You couldn't even get near it.
Right.
There were like hundreds more Secret Service guys up there. So everybody was like banking, even Secret Service, like banking on this other horse.
Yeah.
And even believing this other horse is going to win. So people were dumbfounded.
Yeah. They're like, Trump could take care of himself. He'll be all right. He's going back in the real world. We got to protect the president.
That's
Hillary Clinton. When we found out that she canceled the fireworks, we went, what's that about? Because they get intel way before us. What's going on, Sherrod Small?
My fucking phone's gone.
What?
What happened?
Like you lost it?
Damn Trump, damn Hillary. I got a real crisis.
What happened? Where'd you leave it? That's why you're not writing me back, you son of a bitch.
Stop smiling for one thing.
No, why? Because I lost my phone in the ocean this summer, and I didn't have it backed up.
See, I don't even know how that happens, Captain Phillips, but I know how my phone screen went dead first.
Yeah.
So I thought my phone died on Saturday.
Yeah.
So it's like, my phone's dead. I got to charge my phone. Then it started ringing.
While it was dead.
While it was dead.
No, that's crazy.
I said, okay, this can't be good.
That's a ghost.
That's
a ghost.
Nothing good about that.
So now my phone, I couldn't use my phone, couldn't turn my screen on. Yeah. So now I'm just carrying around a fucking pet rock.
Oh, it's not gone?
No, wait. Because now it has no option. I can't do anything with it.
Right.
So I'm carrying it around, trying to keep hold of it, keep track of it, and then I just lost it.
Oh, you didn't go see the Apple geniuses downtown who were like...
It was a Samsung. Maybe that was my...
That's the problem.
We got the Samsungs, Morgan Spurlock.
I hope they were all gifts. I hope they were all given to you for free.
I don't got the note. I don't got the note, but I don't plug this in anymore.
Brought to you by Samsung. Thank you, Samsung, for the fine donations. And by the way, Sherrod Small will be in the studio for the next hour if you'd like to send over a new device.
Please.
I used to just plug my phone in and let it go all night long. Now it's like during the day, and it's only a foot or 2 feet away from me at all times when it's plugged in, because I don't trust that this battery isn't going to go up in flames. They're saying it's the Note.
Like, oh no, it's fine.
I got the regular Samsung, not the Note.
But you're fine.
That's what they're telling us.
I would not have one of those anywhere near my genitalia.
The first time I lost my phone in like 3 years.
It's really painful.
And I used to lose it all the time, but now I feel like a nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know how to communicate to people.
Well, see, the worst is like I've got my stuff all backed up, but I'm more worried about everything that's just in there to begin with.
Yeah.
Like somebody will be able to get and have all my photographs that I got in there and personal emails.
They can have my dick pics. I want those to circulate.
All your photos of rats, Morgan.
That's right. I don't want those to get out.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, we just talked about rats.
Ah, that's so good.
All my rat dick pics that I got in there.
You just know how to make a really good documentary.
Damn, that was good.
Wasn't that good?
I really want to go out there and beat rats now. They might have my phone.
They probably do. Last spring I dropped my phone while I was fishing.
Oh yeah, into the water.
You were like shoreline fishing.
Yeah, I was in ankle deep water, and went. Oh, there it is. Oh, where is it now? And never saw it again.
Oh, really?
Just a wave came in. It wasn't even rough waves. And I said, there it is. And I go, it was so calm. I'm like, I'll get it on the next wave. No big deal. Because I also had a rod and other things that I was dealing with. And man, I never saw the phone again.
Oh my God.
It was like early April when the ocean water was about 45 degrees. I checked. I looked for that phone for 8 straight hours.
Some kid in Taiwan found your phone.
And the waves were just like this, just really soft, back and forth, and I still couldn't find it. Searching for like 8 hours.
See, now you drop the baby, grab the phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that happened with my...
I don't know if my info's backed up and all that.
Huh?
I don't back up info on phones.
I don't back my shit up. I lost a lot.
I got mine automatically turned on to back up every time I go home at night.
I think I do always, but I think the last time 3 years ago when I lost it was like this, you got nothing.
Well, that's what I assumed too until I checked and realized, oh, that's right, you didn't back anything up.
Yeah, well, that's why you need to do that once. You need to do that once, and then you never do it again.
No big deal. The next time my kid celebrates their first Christmas, I'll be ready. I'll be ready for that. No big deal.
Oh
no fucking big deal. Are you kidding me?
Man.
Yeah.
I'm figuring it out, though.
I lost a lot of firsts. I still got it up here, though. That's what they say. You still got the memories.
I don't even want to think about
How about I watch the little fucking video that I had?
Oh.
Yeah, kid.
So you just Black Mirror that in a couple more years. Just show people what's in your brain.
Right.
Like, look what I got. I'll play it for you here, kids.
Oh, yeah. Maybe I could get it that way.
That's right.
Black Mirror?
I don't know. I mean, it's in there somewhere, and now we just need the technology to take it from the brain and put it back on my fucking phone.
and then what'll be recorded is the memory of you watching and then like looking at your phone, not paying any attention to the event while it's happening.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to this stuff because I was making sure the video was good.
That's right.
So I don't even know if it was a good fucking moment. I just assumed down the road I would see the nice moment.
I don't even know what I lost. I don't even know what's out there that I lost.
Did you see the documentary 14 Minutes? Because we got Alan coming in from Google.
14 minutes.
Alan Eustace.
14 minutes from Earth.
14 minutes from Earth. He set the record. You know the Red Bull guy?
Yeah.
Baumgart or whatever.
Yes, he beat that guy.
He beat that guy. He went way higher. He went like 25 miles.
Up in the air.
Yeah, with a balloon.
And basically parachuted out.
That's
bananas.
Back to Earth. He was 25 miles up.
I remember when Baumgartner did it, and they were broadcasting it live, and it was crazy. Like, it was on the radio. Like, the last time I'd been in a car and, like, listened to me something live on the radio was forever ago.
Yeah.
And the fact they were broadcasting this on multiple stations, and it was on Red Bull TV, and it was on regular networks.
Yeah,
like, they created a real event around it. It was incredible.
His was more impressive because he had that platform. Remember, he stepped out, and then it's like... All right, time to jump.
Yeah.
This guy just had
he basically was like attached to the bottom of a balloon right there.
Yeah, and then he had a release cord. The other one was way more impressive because you could see him kind of staring over the edge like, really, I'm going to do this now?
Wow.
And then the spin, remember?
Yeah.
With Baumgarten?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Where they were like, oh, he's blacked out. They're like, he's definitely blacked out right now.
Well, this guy figured out the spin. No more spinning.
Well, because it was that what that chest plate was that would keep him from spinning, or was that just so he wouldn't burn up on re-entry? That crazy thing.
Well, no, the suit was so he would survive the whole thing.
These guys must really hate their families, huh?
How about
nothing says fuck that wife? Like I'll go back up there and jump.
How about I'm watching 14 Minutes from Earth?
That's amazing.
And the whole time going, why are you doing this? Are you this bored? Because he's an executive over there at the Google.
Is he really?
And has a lot of money to burn because it took him like 18 months to figure this out. So the documentary was pretty good. It was no rats, but it was all right. It was all right.
It didn't break any world records like this movie did. But
well, in the end,
we may have won with the rats, but he won with the adoration of millions of fans worldwide.
Well, in the end, the question was why. I mean, why are you doing this? All right,
128,000 feet.
Yeah, so it was 25 miles, right?
That's crazy.
That is insane.
25 miles above Earth.
Wow, I gotta watch that.
It was all right. He's coming in today.
Oh, he's coming in, that guy?
I'll fake it good.
How long is the movie? Is it a feature-length film?
It's you got to do those 90-minute films, right, Morgan? You know.
That's if you want to not get them into movie theaters.
He clocks in at 85 minutes.
That's perfect.
85 minutes is right about
That's the sweet spot.
Really?
I think the sweet spot for docs is like anywhere between 80 and 95 minutes.
Yeah,
like that's like the sweet spot.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, I think if you're going to start getting above 100 minutes, then you gotta really suck me in.
You better know your shit.
That's right.
Right.
Now, how do you feel about that making of a murderer thing?
See, I liked Making a Murderer. I think it was 2 episodes too long.
Right.
I feel like that they started to really milk it towards the end.
Sure.
But I feel like the Jinx did the same thing. I mean, I feel like the Jinx could have been 1 or 2 episodes shorter. But it's like both of those. What I love about both those things is they've showed everybody that you could have longer nonfiction stories. You could have longer documentary stories. OJ, the same thing. Like, here's OJ. It was 5 episodes long, and it was amazing.
That OJ documentary was absolutely great.
So good.
So
good.
Damn good.
Yeah, like, I love that. And I think that those types of things where people are now suddenly realizing what everyone in Europe realized for a long time is like, oh, you could watch docs, and like they could be long and good.
Yeah.
And you could actually like get people to tune into them.
Well, especially if they're broken down, where you have 5 or 6 installments.
Totally.
Because they feel like mini movies or standalone movies but I think in their own right.
But it's a big credit, I think, to Smart TV that's like led us here. I mean, the fact that like whether it be HBO, FX, Showtime, like these networks that really said we're going to raise the bar for fiction programming, started putting all these great fiction shows. Now you turn on the TV, everybody's got a great fiction show, whether it's like Lifetime has Unreal or USA has Mr. Robot.
Right.
Like everybody's got a great scripted show.
Yeah.
And so now they're like, well, how can we do the same thing in nonfiction? So it's like everything's starting to get picked up, which is there'll be much better, greater, smarter nonfiction shows.
I only watch documentaries right now.
Yeah.
I'm not watching anything else.
Once it's good, it locks you in.
Have you seen Gleason yet?
That's been on the top of my list for about a week, and
it's so good.
What's that about? What's that about?
It's the dude from the Saints.
Yeah,
that has Lou Gehrig's.
Yeah, it is so good. It's gonna.
That's what everyone is saying, and it's on the top of my list.
As a parent, it's a great movie to watch at the same time. It's just like heart wrenching. Like I was bawling like so many times in that movie. It's fantastic.
Well, the problem is I want to see that, and then you find out that Morgan Spurlock's coming in to promote Rats, and then I got to go see Rats, and then I got this Alan guy from Google that decides
Rats makes you 14 minutes make you cry for different reasons.
Right.
Yes.
14 minutes from Earth, you got a guy that's obviously bored at his job and decided I need to do something significant in my life.
What am I going to do with this $1 billion? You know what I'm going to do?
Right. We got breaking news on Making a Murderer. Federal judge orders the release of Brendan Dassey.
Oh, the kid.
Yes.
The kid's getting out.
This is breaking this radio show starts today.
Wow. Look how young is this kid?
Well, that's 10 years ago.
10 years
Easy.
ago, but he was like, he lost a good chunk of his life.
Well, how many?
Incredible.
When did this all go down? 2006, somewhere around there?
I feel like,
The murder was 2005.
And I feel like he was put in jail like 6 or 7, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been in jail for 10 years for this.
There he is now.
That's what makes it so strange with the documentary. You see this and you go, oh, wow, this is from 2006. Oh, my God, 10 years have gone by. What has happened to these guys? Well, they're still in jail.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about the other guy, though. I'm not sure.
The older dude?
Steve Avery.
Yeah, I'm not sure about
Avery.
Steve Avery. But Brendan Dassey, though, my God. So what are they saying, Paul?
He's ordered to be released under supervision.
Like immediately?
I believe so. It didn't say an exact date.
And is he being exonerated or he's just being released?
I think he's just being released.
Wow.
And how old was he when he went in?
Like 15.
Yeah,
somewhere
10 years
around
in
there.
prison shouldn't affect him, right? He should be just like the guy who walked in there, right?
He's so young.
Boy.
He's got a whole life ahead of him.
That's right.
Yeah.
No rape dreams or.
Oh my God! You think prison messed him up a little bit?
Oh, it's like he probably got his GED while he's in there. He's been like doing some woodworking classes.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Dassey's supervised release release was not immediate and is contingent upon him meeting multiple conditions. As part of the motion, Dassey must provide to the court the address of his intended residence no later than noon on Tuesday. So as long as he could tell him, well, I'm going to live here. I'm going to go back and live with Mom. That's all he has to do.
That's a big all you have to do, though. Mom got to say yes. To her boy who was in prison 10 years. Yeah. This ain't young Jeffrey who left.
There's the mom. I don't know.
I'm with my boyfriend now.
I don't know.
I got other kids to worry about.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. He has also been ordered not to have any contact with the family of Teresa Halbach or co-defendant Stephen Avery. He must also not possess a firearm or any controlled substance. Dassey's trial is also restricted to the Eastern District of Wisconsin, and he shall not obtain a passport.
Yeah, that'll show him. Stay in America. Take that.
Well, everybody knows who you are and can tease you.
But that's breaking. It sounds like he's going to be out by tomorrow or certainly by the end of the week.
That's amazing.
He was kind of innocent.
According to his lawyer, he's going to be released today.
Wow.
Not innocent. But
Wow.
Perfect time. WrestleMania season's coming around.
Look at him.
Wow.
Let's get him on a show, Hope.
I would love to have him on. We've had some of these guys on.
He might not be allowed to talk to anybody. That's probably part of his another part of his. And you can't talk to anyone.
Well, it would be
ever again.
It would be smart not to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
He was. They easily convinced him that he did horrific things.
Yeah,
they convinced him of that.
Yeah. Why'd you tell him that, Brandon? I don't know. Remember all that? I don't know. As a parent, you're pulling your hair out. What do you mean you don't know? What are you admitting to?
Why'd you say this?
Right. So that is happening as we speak. That's pretty amazing.
That's
Morgan,
amazing. Power documentaries right there. Look at that.
Morgan, you're actually here today because you're opening a restaurant, I hear?
We are opening a chicken restaurant in Columbus, Ohio this weekend.
Wait, Columbus, Ohio?
Wait, chicken?
Test center capital of the world.
Wait, Columbus, are you from there originally?
No, I'm from West Virginia.
West Virginia.
I grew up about 4 hours from Columbus.
Okay.
And but Columbus is like this test center capital of the world. Like Chipotle's there testing a new burger place right now.
Really?
Dave Thomas started Wendy's out of there.
Why is Columbus the test market?
Because Columbus is like a great representation of America. It's very cross-cultural. It's very ethnically diverse. It's economically diverse. It has a large public transportation system.
And boy, do they like to eat.
And boy, do they love to eat.
Boy.
You know this, Sherrod.
They like the extra squeezins on their burgers.
But doesn't America...
Extra squeezins. They Al Bundy over there.
But doesn't America like to eat in general?
I thought all Americans like the extra squeezes.
Especially the flyover states.
The flyover states, on the coast, everybody try to pretend.
Eat.
On the coast, you pretend like you don't eat a lot, then you go home and gorge.
You try not to eat a lot on the coast, that's for sure.
But in the middle,
But in the middle, they're like, just fuck.
I threw up right before I came here, just so I'd look good.
So Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus, Ohio, opening this Saturday.
Okay.
Holy chicken.
Holy chicken.
Holy chicken.
Now, what kind of, is it fried? Is it baked?
It's like we have our signature dish is the grilled crispy chicken sandwich.
Good God Almighty.
You should have brought some in here.
It's so good. See, that's if we'd had a way to create this grilled crispy, look how good that sandwich is.
That looks amazing.
It's transparent localicious.
What kind of bun are we talking right there?
That's like a locally handmade, handcrafted, delicious buttery bun.
I like that.
They're just stamped out, Morgan. Come on. You make bread sound so delicious.
That's not true. That's actually being created by a local baker in Columbus, Ohio.
I believe it, but I got to bust your balls out. You made that sound like the most amazing bread ever.
It is the most amazing sandwich you're ever going to have in your life.
It's good as shit.
It does look very, very good.
Everything's locally grown.
It's all like that. So we have a lot of local things that are there. The chicken, the best part about the chicken is I grew the chicken myself. We got a farm in Alabama where I raised my own chickens. So now you know exactly where it's coming from.
Are you serious?
True story. How many jobs do you have?
True story.
You raise your own chickens?
When do you have time to raise chickens?
All this summer while we were making rats, I was also raising chickens. I was raising like flying rats,
and you didn't get the two confused, right?
I'll eat them both.
That's right, exactly. Listen, when you're hungry enough, it's all good.
Wait, why did you decide to raise your own chickens?
Well, because we had a bunch of conversations with people saying, "Oh, if you want to try and do something different in the space, if you want to start a different restaurant, a real farm to table restaurant, then why not have the farm where the food comes from?"
Now, how many chickens do you have there?
We had 2,500 chickens.
2,500. Now, is it true that Americans consume over 22 million chickens a year?
6 billion chickens a year in the United States. 20 billion worldwide.
6 billion chickens in the United States.
Alone.
Where do they even keep all these chickens?
On top of each other.
All over.
Well, you're 2,500 chickens. How much room did you give them?
Just as much. Just enough as they need. No, they had more room. They had more room than they knew what to do with.
It's bigger than a New York apartment.
That's right. That's true.
At least you're being honest, because I've learned a lot about cage-free and all that crap. And
our chickens are cage-free and free range, and they're 100% natural, antibiotic-free.
You hear what free range really means?
Humanely raised.
You run around a couple times.
It's the same fucking barn, right? But they have a door that leads to the outside. And if you're lucky enough to get outside as a chicken, then it's considered free range.
Oh, really?
They're not all free-ranging, my
And if you're also lucky to get outside and it rains, there's a good chance you might drown as a chicken because chickens are not so smart.
Yeah, they don't really like the rain. I learned that too.
That's the same way they did recess in my public school. There's a hole in the back. You go out, there's gym. You go out there's gym class.
As long as these barns, if they have a door where the chickens could get outside, that's what free range means. That's it.
55 million we eat? What?
No, 6 billion.
6 billion for the country.
For the U.S., we eat about 190 chickens a second.
How is that?
Wow.
We're just eating dinosaurs. We're still living off of dinosaurs.
That's right, yeah.
Wow. They're extinct. No, nigga, they on your sandwich.
Wait, every second 190 are done.
That's right.
How crazy is that?
And so that's the whole reason why I pick chicken is because, like, chicken is the new burger. Like, there's more people are eating chicken. Chicken is like a healthier choice, healthier alternative, better for you, better for the environment.
Right.
It's going to be good for you.
Is that really why you pick chicken?
You're going to love it. You're going to love it.
Is that why you pick chicken?
Yeah. And it's,
or deep inside where you're saying, fuck chickens.
I think you should come to the opening and see this amazing restaurant.
I think it's going to be...
I think you are going to be... It's eye-opening.
I think it's going to be amazing.
Nice.
Are you doing... What kind of French fries? That's the key.
Okay.
There's no French fries. Crispy greens.
Crispy greens.
I can mess with it. I like a nice crispy kale sometime when they make it right.
Yeah, all right. So you definitely...
No French fries.
Why no French fries?
Well, because, French fries...
relatively healthy?
French fries, which are the most consumed side in the United States.
Right.
They're the number one thing. So I said, well, let's not have the thing that everybody else has. Let's do something that's a little different.
Okay.
A little healthier. A little better.
What if they're craving their French fries?
Well, then they can go somewhere else.
See, that's how much confidence Morgan Spurlock has in his chicken. Eric is asking spicy?
You can have a spicy version?
There's regular and spicy.
Nice.
So you can get a mustard. They can get a mustard version or like this like homemade sriracha we made. It's nice.
All right.
It's nice and spicy.
Where are you at with religion? Because some of these chicken places, they're very religious.
They don't like the
homosexuals on
homosexuals.
Sunday.
We love all kinds. Anybody can come. It's like if you can come have a gay wedding at our place, whatever you like. Whatever you like.
You'll be open on Sundays.
We're open every day.
Every day.
You know what? I feel like on Earth every day's the Lord's day.
Good. I am not ordering Chick-fil-A anymore.
Are you not?
I'm ordering Morgan Spurlock.
Oh
chicken.
yes,
That's
you gotta
right,
get one in New York though.
No,
I'm saying
that's what's going to happen. It's a test market in Columbus.
That's right.
Okay.
And then holy chicken everywhere.
I can't wait.
Holy chicken.
What are you thinking? Franchising? Like
So we're going to start out of Columbus, and then on the heels of that, we'll have more news soon. But we're going to start there.
Oh man,
that's where it's going to go.
I'm keeping my fingers crossed for you.
Holy chicken in New York City would do well.
Now, did you get in beef and you run into any franchise beef? Did anybody from
Not yet.
McDonald's try to run you off the road?
Not yet.
KFC people try to,
Popeyes. The people at Popeyes.
Oh, people at Popeyes kick your ass.
They don't mess around.
They love
man.
an ass whooping at Popeyes.
Oh boy, do they.
Louisiana fast.
Usually at like 1 a.m. Yeah. Usually.
Oh boy, watch out for the Popeyes.
What's the drink situation like? Are you team with Coke, Pepsi?
No, we got all local sodas from Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How are you going to do that if you go national?
Well, then we'll go from other places.
So regional sodas?
We'll get regional sodas where we go.
No matter where you are.
No matter where we
that
are.
is very cool.
Yeah. So we'll go all regional on the drinks.
Very cool. And how many different kinds of chicken sandwiches are you really keeping?
Right now, so ultimately, the key is I think simplicity of the menu. Like if you go to In-N-Out Burger, the best thing about In-N-Out Burger is it's a cheeseburger, a regular burger. That's it. And so it's like you can get a regular chicken sandwich, or you can get it with all the fixings on it. But that's it.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
You got to slow down a little bit. You're making us all look stupid.
Making us all look hungry. You should have brought a couple sandwiches.
I wish that I look at that sandwich and it just makes my mouth start watering.
Damn,
such a good sandwich.
Award-winning director. He's TV shows, now restaurants.
He's a Jamaican. Motherfucker got 9 jobs. You lazy lima bean.
I think you're going to remotivate me, Morgan.
God almighty.
I'm not doing enough with my life. Are you sick of them describing you as the Super Size Me director at this point?
Listen, I mean, it's been, that movie came out, now it's 2016, 12 years ago. And the fact that movie, every time I travel, like I was just traveling, coming back from Columbus, I was stopped in the airport by a guy in the airport yesterday who said, listen, man, I just got to show you something. He pulls a picture out of his wallet to show, and it's literally, he's got this picture of himself laminated. He goes, this was me 100 pounds ago. Wow. And he goes, after I saw Super Size Me, he goes, I changed the way I ate. Wow. He goes, I started going to the gym. He goes, I started cooking at home. So for me, it's like that, seeing people like that like this movie, it still resonates with them. It's bananas.
Yeah. Oh, no question. I think it matters more now than it did then.
Yeah. And of course it does.
Yeah. And kids, like I'll get stopped by kids who like, they showed it to me in health class and I haven't had fast food since. And it's like, it's awesome. Yeah. It's great. And so for me, it's like the business is the business. Like it's like we live in a capitalist society. They want to make money all they can. I think the film did a good job of making them realize what they were and weren't doing. Mm-hmm. The best thing that film did was make people say, I need to assume responsibility.
Yeah. And then a lot of filmmakers definitely followed your lead.
No question.
And did their own versions of Super Size Me or food in general. Like Fed Up was a great movie.
Yeah, Fed Up was good.
Amazing.
Food Inc. was a good movie.
Food Inc. was great.
Yeah.
I had to stop watching those things.
Well, it just gets to get angrier. So watch you get angrier.
Well, you get angry at our government that was telling us what was healthy our whole lives.
Yeah.
I had no idea how much sugar was in the things I thought were healthy.
Oh, my gosh.
I had no idea.
That's right. Because the way they bury it and all the ingredients, it's incredible.
Right. And a lot of people really believe if they're having an apple juice or something, it's healthy.
Why are you going to call out my apple juice? I'm sitting over here trying to enjoy a little apple juice.
Yeah, that was a good movie. For people who haven't seen that, was that Sugar film.
Right.
The Sugar film, which is literally all about that. Where this Aussie guy basically says, I'm going to eat all healthy foods.
Right.
I'm going to eat all the stuff that's supposedly good for me, from yogurt to juice to everything. And he was just consuming so much sugar every day.
And feeling like shit.
Yeah.
But he was like a hardcore vegan, I think.
He's a healthy guy.
Really healthy guy. But he's like, I'm going to now eat what they're telling me is healthy. So it's like yogurts, it's like your apple juice.
Sugar's the enemy.
Yeah. But they're saying the apple juice, they're like, at that point, you might as well have a soda.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
But whatever. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But what pissed me off is the government made it, and the food industry made it look like this stuff was healthy.
That's right. They put it next to like an apple. So it's like a picture of a real apple and like an apple juice.
Yeah.
They're like, whatever you'd like. One of these is totally fine.
Orange juice, the same, whatever. I mean, I drive people nuts in my personal life and stuff. I drive them nuts because I get really mad.
I don't like sugar sneaking up in shit that it don't have to be in.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like when I want to have sugar, I want to have a piece of cake, but I don't want it to sneak up in other food.
Well, how about the government made a deal with the school system and basically said, okay, you need vegetables, so we'll accept French fries and pizza as vegetables in the school lunch program.
Incredible.
Because it's cheaper.
Yeah. And ketchup. They counted ketchup as a vegetable.
And ketchup. Because they were finally fighting them. And
that's right.
They were fighting them, and then they're like, okay, we'll accept, that you could call these things vegetables. So now you are offering a healthy alternative at school for the kids.
It's terrible.
Complete and utter bullshit. Just tell us the truth, and then we'll go from there.
And they're still terrible.
Because people don't know any better. Terrible. They're not educated enough to if someone's telling them that French fries or pizza is considered a vegetable and it's healthy, they don't know any better.
But this is the country we live in. We live in a world, and especially in the U.S., where we're like, the government's going to take care of me. They're going to look out for me. There's the USDA, the FDA, these people are there to protect me. And the school system, they're all there to do what's right. And it's just not true.
And remember when Michelle Obama even came out and said, hey, we need to have the kids eat healthier, guys. And everybody in America went like this, shut the fuck up, bitch. You don't raise my fucking kids. And she's like, you know what? Never mind. We're the worst as a nation.
Erox reminded me. You could just say that yourself. But
in one of those sugar movies.
I think it was Fed Up.
Fed Up. They said, when Michelle Obama had that plan, she partnered up with Kellogg's and a few of the other companies who are the ones supplying to the schools as it is. So she wanted this all new food regime and everything for the schools, the kids to eat better, and it's all supplied by the companies that were already there in the
brought
first
to you by Coke and Kit Kat.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's how it happens. Sometimes in a neighborhood, you got to go to the drug dealer to get turkeys for everybody for Thanksgiving. Yeah, he's selling drugs, but he's going to give turkeys this Thursday.
Yeah. Sometimes it is you can like take somebody's money and use a little bit of their power against them.
Yes.
You know, yeah, you can.
It doesn't work that
But
way.
my point is, I just don't want to be lied to by the government. If you want to eat shitty, whatever, that's fine. But there's a lot of people out there that have no idea they're eating shitty because it says like low fat on the label or something like that.
That's why you see your boy Sanjay Gupta didn't want to be
Gupta.
He didn't want that job because he didn't want to lie to America.
That's right.
Right.
That's true. Well, that's why I think the people are going to love coming to Holy Chicken because it is completely transparent.
Bring it right back.
Bring it back. It's this awesome. It's this incredibly honest experience.
That's a pro. He's like, look, I like hanging with you guys, but let's get some business done.
But what you're saying is about telling people what's in their food. Like that's what our whole place is all about.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I try to eat very healthy. I got one of these protein smoothies, and
I just had one of those,
and I've been juicing all day. But when I want to eat a chicken sandwich, I'm going to go and eat a chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
that's right.
I would
That's
like
fine.
to be healthy. Even in New York State, we had to pass legislation just to know what the food was in the food.
That's right.
We had to get the law changed just to say how many calories in this.
I was against.
What happened? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You know what? I think you might have a better point.
No, I was going to say.
Sure?
I was going to say what happened with Bloomberg was funding all that money in California. What happened to the vote where they were going to push the sugar tax in California?
We're on the same page. I was against what Bloomberg was trying to do with all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then when I really started educating myself more, because I had a lot to learn, I'm like, fuck yeah, I want Bloomberg to kind of legislate some of this stuff, just because the population has no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
The size of the soft drinks and this and that. I'm like, go for it. The salt content in food, because we just didn't know.
Yeah.
Because we think we're getting away with it. But at the other end, we're still paying for it because all these fucking medical prices are going up. Everybody got sugar, got diabetes. I'm about to black it up with sugar diabetes. we got diabetes.
Yeah.
So like this, it costs a lot of money.
Right.
But you got to say it like with my family. When you go back home, they go, "You got the diabetes." You got the diabetes.
Wilford Brimley.
He got the diabetes.
Diabetes. We all know someone with the diabetes.
You got the diabetes.
Diabetes.
No, it's like you got the sugar. How's your sugar? That's what everybody asks. How's
My
your sugar?
sugar acting
How's your
up.
sugar? My sugar acting up. That's what my family would say.
Patrice used
What's
to
your
say
South
that
of Mason Dixon line? That's what it
Patrice
is.
used to say that his mom's called it the sweetness or something like that.
I think it was sweetness or sweet blood.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Whatever. I
Sweet
should have let you have that one, but I think it was sweet blood. Well, we all say that though. Like, I got a sweet tooth. No, you're addicted to sugar.
That's right.
It's an addiction.
It is an addiction.
Whatever. People are like, shut up.
Shut up. Shutting up.
When is Holy Chicken?
Saturday. This Saturday. Saturday at 11 a.m. Columbus, Ohio.
You're gonna fly me and Sherrod up?
You guys
for the
just come
opening?
out. You guys
Fly
come on.
us
You're
up.
flush. You're flush.
Yeah.
Let's fly up and
you get serious.
Eat some chicken.
Get serious. Come out there and broadcast live from the Holy Chicken.
I'll do it.
Stop showing that damn sandwich. I'm starving.
No, that sandwich looks really
Holy
good.
shit.
Really good. And the bread was made by angels, so we're in good hands.
Angels in the city of Columbus, Ohio.
Do you visit your chickens that you raised?
Oh yeah.
Do you ever sleep?
Sometimes. Sometimes.
Who's the dude on this was MVP of the Super Bowl who got raised chickens too?
Oh, who's that? Yeah, you're talking about.
From the Broncos. He's hands on too.
Yeah.
You hands on?
I was hands on. I was in there. I was feeding them. I was like scooping out the shits.
Right?
They can
Yeah.
get evil too, chickens.
Chickens can get a little mean.
They will eat each other.
Yeah.
They don't fuck around.
They will peck
bad.
on. They'll peck on other birds. They'll pick on other birds.
Right.
They'll eat other ones. That if one dies, they'll go in and start eating on the dead guy.
Really?
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
Tastes like chicken.
That's right. They're like,
It's like chicken.
Now, what do you think about pigeon meat and shit like that? Because I've eaten pigeon
but
before.
if you've eaten like squab is basically pigeon,
Right.
And then in other places other than like New York City, where you can go and actually eat pigeon, like in
Delicacy,
Europe, like
Paris.
it's like you'll eat pigeon all the time.
What's the most?
What was the wildest thing you ate?
That I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
The wildest thing I've ever eaten. I ate kangaroo in Australia. I had some nutria. I've had nutria in Louisiana.
Yeah.
What's
you know,
nutria?
Like swamp rats.
They shoot
They're
in
big
the swamp.
swamp rats.
They big as hell, longest tails.
Yeah.
You go out at night sometimes on a pickup truck just to keep the population down.
Yeah.
Shoot them, grab them by
There
that
you go.
fucking
Look at
tail.
that swamp rat.
Why'd
Looks
you
like,
eat that?
Because the
They did a
guy cooked it up in a place that I was in.
Was
In
it
the
good?
South.
Yeah, it was great.
In the South.
Yeah, come on. You like curry that shit up? All tastes great.
Was it gamey?
No, it wasn't gamey. And the way he like cooked it is almost like a stew.
Yeah.
He made it almost like a pulled pork. Because
Right.
it's almost like a shredded type meat when you
yeah.
pull it out.
So the obvious question: what does it taste like?
It
what
tasted,
kind of
it
meat
tasted,
that we would know?
It tasted beefy. It tasted more
Really?
beefy than like chickeny.
I had ostrich once. That was the wildest.
Oh,
thing.
look at this raw nutria heads. That's
It's
so
just heads.
disgusting. That's so disgusting. And then I'll tell you like when I was, and then like that picture right there of those raw heads.
Yeah.
When I was in Iceland, a guy took me to the bus station. He goes, you come to the bus station with me. We'll go to eat. And I was like, okay. So you went to the bus station in Reykjavik, and in Reykjavik you can order this thing called svith. I think it's SVITH. I think it's how you spell it.
Yeah.
And so what svith is, it's basically like a goat head where they smoke the head. So it's basically like that raw head, except they smoke it, so they singe all the hair off, and they cut it in half. So basically there's half a goat head on
Yes!
a plate
Yeah.
that they
Yes!
wrap plastic over. And so they put it out on the table for you. And then me and this guy just took forks and picked at this raw, this like smoked goat head.
Oh, that's good.
And so we're eating the cheek and we're eating like
oh,
the
you gotta get the
face.
cheek meat. The cheek meat is the best meat.
I
Did we,
hear
did we
that
find,
one.
did we find svith? Is it in there? I said, but that's what the goat head looks like. It
Did
looks
you like
that.
it?
Listen, I mean, goat meat has a very specific flavor to begin with. So, like, goat is a very different flavor than beef. It's more lamby than anything.
Right, it's more
in
lamb.
terms of
And
that.
it's the number one thing in the world that humans eat.
That's right.
Yeah, it's the one
true
thing on
story.
Flatbush Avenue. Man, they go hang
I
out
had
with
no
some
idea
West Indians.
because you rarely see someone eating goat in America. But
Goat roti.
Yeah, there it is.
As far
There's
as-
svith right
come
there.
on
Look at
now.
that. So it looks just like that.
I would not be able
and
to
so,
do that.
And so I was eating the cheek. I was eating some of the jowls. I was eating some of the tongue. And then he goes, you want the eye? And I was like, no, you can have it. And he's like, and he like just popped the
it
eyeball in his mouth and ate it.
I love it.
Lens and all.
The whole thing. He like chewed the whole thing.
That's got to be a little crunchy in the eyeball.
I love it.
The first bite pops, but then you got to crunch through it. I think.
Yeah.
That looks like you're eating your dog.
Good boy. Who's a good boy?
Looks like you're eating your collie.
I told you to fetch. I told you.
That's rough. I had ostrich
good.
was mine, but that
What's
was
that taste like?
like the best steak you'll ever have.
Really?
It was amazing.
Was it thick? It's like a thick steak.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I had it once a few years back, but
And what
I
is
don't
it?
tr-
Like the hip? What are they cutting
I
it
don't
from?
know. It looked like a medallion when they threw it on my plate.
Right.
I didn't know
Wow.
any better. If they didn't tell me it was, I would.
Where were you? Where'd you have that?
On Long Island on Jericho Turnpike, and then
Amazing.
they weren't selling enough ostrich meat because then there was some Jewish lightning that took out the restaurant.
Oh, really?
Suspicious circumstances.
Oh, that's the insurance.
You're
Fire
at
suspicious,
Governor's. I was at a Governor's eating the ostrich steak.
a little further out, a little further than that, but close enough. And you didn't try the rat when you guys were
I did
filming
not
that
eat
in your
that. No,
movie.
when we were there, when we were shooting in Cambodia and Vietnam, we'd already filmed in New Orleans where we'd done the whole dissection scene and pulled all of these parasites and things out of those rats. I was like, I'm not eating any of that.
Wait.
I don't want that anywhere near my body.
Yeah, that is absolutely.
But don't they have like farm rats over there that they raise
That's why. Well, they don't raise them. They get them from farms. Like what they do is they pick them up. They have people who trap them in Cambodia in the rice fields
Right.
and then truck them across the border into Vietnam. Like people in Vietnam won't eat the city rats. They'll only eat the imported kind of
How up
free range, the free range rats.
But what's the logic there?
Because ultimately there's no
Different diet.
disease. They're all natural.
okay. So they're thinking-
they run around. They're eating all they're not eating like crap people throw in the street.
Right.
I'm not telling you anything you don't know already. You're a really good filmmaker because that scene, how it builds, Morgan.
Oh,
Is
thanks.
this the Cambodian?
Oh, that's one of the markets. That's one of the street markets where you can go buy rats.
But
On markets, let's use the word market. Let's not lose-
They're there. See, they're cooking them up on the street.
Sherrod, did you see rats?
No, maybe we saw clips of it in here.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't watch the whole thing
sce-
yet. I can't wait
the
to watch
scene
the whole
when
thing.
they were collecting the rats in the rice fields, and it slowly builds. This is why he's such a great filmmaker.
Right.
And then halfway through the scene, you're like, no. Now you're aware where it's going. You're like, no, oh my God, there's a guy that's just paying cash for the rats, and you don't know why he's paying cash for the rats yet, and he's piling it up in cages on the back of his moped and taking the ride to Vietnam, I think, right?
Yeah,
to the
that's right.
border.
On the back
And
of
then-
his moped.
Yeah, but everyone is
Like
coming
10
with their
cages,
rats.
10 cages high.
No.
Yeah.
Everyone
I
is
gotta watch.
coming with their rats, and this guy's just taking the cash. Like, here you go, here you go. He's so excited, he's getting all these rats, and you don't know why yet. And then he piles them up, gets them to Vietnam, and then you reveal where there's a lady getting her pots and pans ready and her knives ready. And then she cooks them up. And
It's one of my favorite scenes. And they look amazing. They look so delicious.
The dishes looked amazing.
Yeah, they look and they smell incredible. Like you're there and you smell that lemongrass and everything. It's just like that smells phenomenal.
I wouldn't eat one. You ate one, right?
I did not eat one when I was there.
But
no, but I grew up eating squirrel. I'm a hillbilly from West Virginia.
Yeah,
so I mean, I grew up.
good,
Squirrels are fancy rats.
Yeah,
Same thing.
That's got
to
be gamey.
No, they taste just like chicken.
Some of your crew? Who on the crew? What the sound do?
None of us.
Nobody ate them?
Nobody ate one because after seeing what we saw in New Orleans, we were all like, no way.
Back.
And that's what made that scene so much better.
Is this the New Orleans footage?
Yes, this is the dissection scene.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
What are they going to find in there?
Oh, they found so many good things.
Oh, Sherrod.
Yeah, I didn't see this.
This scene's amazing. So here, watch what they start pulling out.
That's the liver, right?
Okay.
That's the liver. So they start pulling these parasites out.
Oh, what is that?
It can be transmitted to humans. You see that?
I can't see it's radio. I'm sorry.
Hantaviruses are best detected in lung tissue.
Another one.
Oh, they moving?
Viruses are comparable in terms of diagnostics.
In a test tube.
So they're hemorrhagic fevers.
Beautiful. Look at the stripes.
Look at that.
That shit look like a fucking cobra.
It looks like from a horror movie, right?
Yeah.
You'd plant that in somebody's brain, and then the next thing you know, there's some kind of.
I saw that's what happened in like Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
You put it in his ear.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah. What else about the chicken place? I want to make sure we promote this properly.
Yeah, man. I feel like if people want updates, they can follow it on Twitter at Holy Chicken USA. And yeah, it's opening this Saturday in Columbus, Ohio. 4 days we're going to be open. We're giving away anybody that comes wearing any type of chicken attire. We're going to give you a free full meal.
Oh,
so
okay.
Chicken hat, chicken costume, whatever any chicken garb.
All right.
You'll get a free sandwich.
What
you
about
get a whole free meal? We're going to treat you right.
What if you show up with a "Make America Great" hat?
Then you can pay just like everybody else. Because you know what we're doing at Holy Chicken? We're making chicken great again.
Bravo.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that you already know that you're rolling this out.
It's going to be good.
It's already going to.
Come on. He's not just going to.
Yeah.
It's Morgan Spurlock. He doesn't have one restaurant in Columbus.
You're right.
They said let's get it going in Columbus, and then we're going to roll out beginning of the year.
We're gonna take our time.
How many cities you think?
We'll see. We'll see what people think
Look
in
at the smile on
Columbus.
his face.
I think people are gonna love it, and because what we're gonna do out of Columbus is we're gonna go back and meet with more investors and show people what the response was.
Right.
Kind of show them the reactions to the food and everything. It's gonna be bananas. It's
That's
gonna be
exciting.
Great. It's exciting.
It is exciting.
Very good. I think we got to take a break. You got to leave or you staying?
Thank you. No, I think I got to leave. I think I got to go around the corner.
FedEx something sandwiches though.
See, if we'd already been open, I would have I'd figured out a way to get some here.
FedEx will work. I got a lot of product coming through FedEx.
Yeah.
Special mayo? What do you got? Spicy mayo?
Oh, it's like it's a sriracha sauce. It's like a homemade special recipe sriracha sauce.
I reckon it sounds good, doesn't it?
Sounds very good. I think I'm going out.
So
You're gonna go to Columbus?
It's a quick drive.
I might go tape a segment of my show there.
Yes. Yes.
It's not a quick ride, though.
It's we already mapped it out.
7 hours.
It's 8 hours and 21 minutes.
8 hours, 21 minutes.
That means you and Roland are going.
That's only if you go the speed
Paul.
limit. You can go a little faster than that.
And Giddles and the rest of my staff.
Yes.
Are you guys really going to do a road trip?
We're going to try. It's Thanksgiving weekend, right?
No, it's the weekend before. It's next weekend. It's this coming Saturday.
It's coming Saturday.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check on that then.
Wow, he was so motivated for a second.
He was up right until then.
He was really motivated.
He was in it right till the end.
Well, we should take a break. But Morgan Spurlock, I love when you come in here, man.
Awesome to see you guys.
And you know how to play, and I appreciate that. I think the chicken place is going to be great. It's called Holy Chicken. Starts in Columbus, Ohio on Saturday, and it's obviously going to be in a whole bunch.
It is going to be eye-opening. It's going to be eye-opening for people.
Really?
Yeah.
I want to
Can we
bite
get
that
a little of the
fucking
action?
sandwich. A little piece, a little taste of
Can we get a little action?
It's just going to be good. It's going to be the most. It's going to be the most honest, transparent food experience people have ever had. It's going to be great.
God.
Let's get a little action.
Let us get some of
Gerard.
that pickle money. Let's be in charge of all the pickles.
Right. I'll give you some French fry money. All right, we got to take a break. Morgan, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you,
Sherrod
guys.
is here. We got Jackie the Joke Man coming in next.
Oh, yeah.
We got Willie Robertson. He's a big Trump supporter
Oh yeah.
from Duck Dynasty.
Oh, yes.
He's coming in. And then the guy.
He was on the campaign trail.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He's got to be pretty excited today.
Definitely.
And then we got 14 Minutes from Earth. Alan. Good old Alan from Google.
See, now I'm going to watch that. I want to watch that.
It was good. It
sounds incredible.
But you're going to have the same question as me by the end. Why?
Why you do it?
Yeah, why?
He hates his wife.
Are you that bored at home?
Why do you hate your wife so much?
Are you that bored at home?
Nobody plummets themselves to the earth.
Are you that bored at home?
What did your family do to you?
Your wife.
And he did this thing already, but we all still talk about the Red Bull guy more.
Yeah.
But this guy set the record. He beat him.
Well, Red Bull was first. That's why people remember it.
And I think it was the step out, which was so dramatic.
So when you break the Guinness Book of World Record, do people come to your house and take the old Guinness Book of World Record that was hanging there?
That's a great question.
Or does the other guy get to still hang onto the one that's in his house?
I think they knock on your door. They come in and they go, "Give me that." They're really rude about it.
They paint a red X over it.
It's just us and the guns.
Give me that back. All right, Morgan, we're going to take a break. Thank you. We'll see you soon. And stay there. I'm catching up with Jackie because it's been a while. It's been a little bit.
It's been a minute.
And I go, man, you haven't fucking aged. That's creepy.
I appreciate that. You
got all original parts still?
Yeah.
Most
absolutely.
of them?
Well, my dick doesn't work as good as it did. But
All right, so the carburetor does go.
It hasn't been operated on, I'm thinking I'm probably going to need some new parts because my legs are giving out. But I'm all me. I was actually 20 pounds lighter for years, and all of a sudden, the last year, I just started eating again.
Good for you. Enjoy your life. What are you eating that you shouldn't be eating?
Yes.
Yeah. Bon appetit.
I eat healthy, and then I eat the unhealthy. I eat both.
You're like everyone that tries to eat healthy. You eat healthy all day long, and then right around 9 o'clock, it all falls apart, and you'll have a half a gallon ice cream or something ridiculous.
The
cravings will always get you.
Yeah.
I'm very pro marijuana, but marijuana.
Hey, welcome home.
But marijuana is not compatible with trying to when I'm not smoking pot, the thought of eating late is the furthest thing from my mind. And then I get stoned. I don't think twice about having 3 huge pieces of pizza. Like, how many times are you going to go around the planet, man? Stop.
I got a strain for you. I got a nice strain that'll make you not eat and stay high.
So you got to be happy with all the states legalizing it finally.
Yeah, that's fine, But, sometimes I get stoned every day for a month. I never smoke pot during the day, but I mean, for a month, and then I don't smoke pot. At one point, I didn't smoke pot for like 8 months, and I wound up walking into Willie Nelson's bus, and he handed me the open end of a vaporizer bag when they looked like, vacuum cleaner bags. And Willie hands you the bag, well, there goes that 8 months.
You squeeze the whole bag into you.
Great. Life has been so good, man. It's
good to hear.
I have no idea why. All of a sudden, people are interested in me again. It's so exciting. Knock on wood. But all of a sudden, they're making a documentary about me, and I finally got my book. I got a book deal after all this time.
Are you going to be talking Howard or what?
Talking about everything. You mean to him or about him?
A little bit of both.
Yeah, a little of both.
Everybody say, it's a tell-all. There's no such thing as a tell-all book because everybody knows everything that happened on the show. It'll just be from my point of view.
Yeah.
But the shit that'll get under his nerves will be the stuff that other people don't even care about, So
yeah.
But it's funny. There's so much funny stuff. I mean, you're in a radio show and a guy comes in and takes a shit on the floor. I mean,
Eric,
who's not laughing, right? Who's not laughing?
It's a great life. Do you talk to Howard still?
It's so funny. I've told
why won't he talk to people that helped him get to where he is today?
I could talk to him. I could talk to him. But the point is that it's a weird question because everybody asks that. Okay, and
I got better ones. I was trying to be nice. I got better ones.
An inch and a half.
I got some real good inside questions. If you really want to go there,
I'll go anywhere. But people say, "Are you guys still friends?" And it's weird because I don't see the guy, and we never hang out, and I haven't seen him in years, so I feel weird saying, yes, he's my friend, but if you say no, people are, what happened? What happened?
Yeah, right.
And realize nothing happened. And the other day, this underscored, I know every joke, and I've always known all the jokes, but I not only know the jokes, I know who told me the jokes for the most part.
Right.
And if all of a sudden a joke comes up or somebody emails me a joke, and it's a joke that my friend Chris Hoffman and I laughed about, 50 years ago in college, I emailed him, hey, Hoffman, look at this joke. Somebody just sent me the Peter joke.
Yeah.
So somebody sent me a joke about a month or two ago that was a joke that Gary and me and Howard laughed at for 2 months on the Channel 9 show. It was just stupid. The punchline was asshole, pussy, asshole. And it was so stupid. So we could just put our fingers to our noses and laugh.
That's still a classic.
And I said
Switch
to
of the fingers
myself, and
for
I
the
said
people
to
that
myself,
don't see this.
if it was anybody else in the world, I would write and say, hey, look at this. Somebody just emailed me this joke. Do you remember this joke? And I'm like, but I kind of hesitated. And I'm like, well, if he's my friend, I'll do that. So then I said it to him, said, do you remember this joke? I said, and I explained what I just explained to you. I don't know, and he just wrote back. He said, what are you talking about? We're great friends. We're great friends. And I wrote, why don't we get together for dinner? He said, we're great friends. We're great friends. He said, I do nothing all day. And I don't do anything all day, but I have no time to go to dinner. I said, you're like Trump. You contradicted yourself by the end of the fucking sentence, which is fine.
Let's go to dinner. We're great friends. We're great friends.
Every time I ask him to go to dinner, he doesn't say no. He just does. It's like if I say, isn't it a nice day out today? And you go, that's a nice frog.
All right.
But there's no animosity.
I understand. You guys are all right. You're doing different things. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wait,
but
what was
the
one of the
book will be
questions you
fun.
had, Opie?
I was just fucking with him.
Of course he is. He thinks,
actually, the one
he knows I'll answer them.
Well, I mean, it was always strange that you just left the show, and it was over not much money in the end. That drove me nuts hearing about that over the years.
Well, when people hear how much money it was, they fall down.
It's a lot of money for a lot of people, of course.
Yeah, and the average person, if you tell them what you were making, they're like, "Go fuck yourself!
Yeah,
You're making that much money." These are the people that would sit with Howard for free.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
What I mean is the raise wasn't that much money considering how much Howard was making and the radio stations that you guys were on.
Yeah,
that's the point.
It was a healthy amount of money, but it was a deal I made with myself. Everybody's heard it ad nauseum, but it's and people don't want to deal with the fact that it was just money. They think that I wanted his firstborn child. Bullshit.
Oh, see, I never knew all this information.
No, it was just dollars and cents.
Sad.
You know what? I assume you're a comedian?
Yes.
You're a black guy on the radio. You got to be a comedian.
That's right. Well, I could be a suspect.
Yeah, well, you could be both.
I am.
I would bet the farm.
Sherrod is a very funny comic.
So if somebody asks you, do you want to do a gig in Alaska? You don't say no. You say $70,000. So then they say we haven't got that kind of money. Okay, I didn't get the gig. Why say no? So I price myself. But if they say, do you want to go to Alaska, and you really don't feel like it, you might say $10,000. So if they give me that much money, fuck it, I'll go 5 rounds with the champ.
Right.
So I didn't price myself out of the ball game. I priced myself within the ball game. But it wasn't the ball game that they were playing, so that's crazy
to let you go.
There was one point where I walked out of the show like 4 times. And one of the times,
you stormed out.
Dominic Barber, not walked out, just didn't come back in because they didn't meet my contract. And Dominic Barber, do you remember?
Sure, I remember.
Exactly. What's going on? You got to be on the show. What's going on? Yeah. I said, well, we got a difference in price, Dominic. He said, what is it? I said, well, I want to raise. He said, well, what is it? I said, well, I'm making $300,000 and I want to make $400,000. He said, what are you talking about? He says, so what are you looking for per year? I said, $400,000. And he said, I got to pull over. He said, what the fuck is Mel doing? He said, everybody thinks that you're making $2 million and you're asking for $3 million. That was a couple of negotiations ago. I was in the early 90s, but still, it was so much less than he would have ever imagined.
But the early 90s, I mean, you guys were crushing it. That was, as we used to say in the business, a license to print money.
Right.
The amount of money these radio stations were making off the Howard Stern show, and Jackie only wanted a $100,000 raise up to $400,000. I thought at the time you were well over $1 million a year.
Everybody did, and I'm going to get so many texts and emails. Is that all you can do is go talk about Howard, talk about it? But it's still interesting.
We certainly can move on.
No, I don't care because it's still interesting to people.
It is.
Did you go back and go, all right, I want my old job back for $300?
No. Did I?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. Well, what I did do is after a couple of months, it's so funny. You don't miss the money and you don't miss the fame. What you miss is being in that fucking room with 4 or 5 people and laughing for 5 hours.
Yeah.
And like you go through withdrawal. So after a couple of months, I actually wrote and said, hey, I'll take the job at the price at the last offer you made. And they never emailed me back.
Oh, that's fucked up.
They just were like, "We're sorry that ship sailed," but that was only 2 months later. It wasn't 2 years later.
If you really truly know this business, that is not fucked up.
That's some dirty.
We all
shit,
have those stories. We all have them.
But didn't call back and didn't, I said, I called up and said, listen, we decided, I'd love to come back at the offer you made me. And my lawyer called Tom and told him the same thing. And they said, all right, we'll let you know. And I'm still waiting
for an answer.
Which is just, it's a little low rent. But, it's like anything. If you go for an audition, they don't call you up and say, sorry, you didn't get it.
Yeah.
You sit there all day waiting for that.
You were a very important part of that show.
Oh, you must have been talking to me.
Yes, I would.
No, a very important part of the show.
This is blowing my mind.
That was the heyday of Howard Stern. I mean, he likes to think that he's still at that level. He's not.
Well, I don't listen. I don't know.
No, and I'm not even trashing him. The world has changed.
Right,
Back then, we didn't have our fucking phone. So when you had a radio show like Howard did, it was everything to everybody.
Yeah.
It's impossible to stay on that level nowadays.
People come up and people, hey, I don't want to bother you, or I mean, I'm like, you never bother me if you come up and say how much I enjoyed the show or how great it was, or you're an asshole for leaving, or whatever. But some things you get some Mark Twain said he could live for 2 months on a good compliment. Yeah. It's really true. Somebody says something nice, and people give me compliments I couldn't make up. Like, I got an email from a guy that said, I started listening to the Stern Show in 2007. He says, I really love it. I really got into the show. And then I started hearing the old shows, and he said it's like having a new favorite band and then finding out they have old albums that you like more than the new albums. And I'm like, whoa, that's a nice fucking concept.
Yeah.
I wish I had written that compliment to myself. It's creative.
I mean, if you discover the Rolling Stones would tattoo you,
okay,
and then you go backwards, you're like, oh, wow. Okay, I missed some things somewhere in there. I remember meeting you for the first time at the Oyster Fest out there on Long Island. And Jackie couldn't have been nicer. I was like, I wasn't sure how it was going to go. And he couldn't have been nicer. You've always been really,
I love it when,
really all right.
I have this great new girlfriend, Barbara Klein. She's wonderful.
Oh, you almost forgot her name, Jackie.
Yeah.
What?
You don't forget your woman's name?
No.
Especially not no Jewish woman.
There was a pause there.
What I did was I paused because I was wondering whether I should say her name or not.
Oh, no. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really going to forget her. I'll tell you a story about that happening, though. Yeah. Not to me, but it's so great because people are always coming up and saying, oh, I met you 30 years ago and you were so nice. Or I met you 40 years ago and you're so nice. I met you 5 years ago. And it's like, it becomes apparent that I'm not just running into people. Luckily, that I was nice because I've been nice to everybody forever. Yeah. It's nice. Right. Do you know who Lenny Schultz is?
Of course.
I remember the name.
Crazy Lenny Schultz. He was a comedian that juggled water and threw spaghetti in his face. He was absolutely out of his mind.
Yeah, all right. I see a picture now. Sure, of course.
And we're at Governor's, and he had divorced his wife, and he had a new girlfriend.
Yeah.
Who operated. In those days, there were cassettes, and she had to keep putting in different cassettes for his different bits. And she was up at Governor's, up in the window. And I came up and said, Lenny, you were so great. You want to hear some more, Lenny? Everybody's, yeah. I said, Lenny, you want to do some more? He says, yeah. You know what bit I'll do? I'll do such and such. And he looks up and he motions to her. We got a full house on Saturday night. Right. He's like this. And he turns to the audience and goes, I forgot my fucking girlfriend's name. She said, she's going to cut my fucking balls off. He said,
ouch.
So it's fun. So I'm going to have a book coming out, and that's very exciting.
Yeah, when's the book coming out?
It's not for a while. It's all written, but it's going to, probably in the fall.
What are we looking at in the book? What kind of stories?
Next fall.
Are you going from I was born, my parents...
I think they're going to chop out a lot of it, but I only put in stuff that's funny. Not I was born and raised. My mother was very, very cutting and funny, and my whole family, everybody in my family is funnier than me.
Yeah.
So the stories, I'm not going to put anything in that's not laughable, and the chapters are bite-sized, so you can read them while you're taking a dump, and
Nice.
I'm not a fan of the backstory.
You got to do the audio book if you want Opie to read it.
Oh,
all right. I got two little kids, Jackie.
I got that deal too.
How about explain why?
I got that deal too.
I know how to read. God damn it!
I got that deal too. I got the audio book and the
Audible.com. It's the best.
It is the best.
It's fantastic.
They still won't give me free books, and I do live reads for them, and I work for them. The show's on Audible.
Come on, you guys.
These SOBs can't even give me a free fucking download.
They approached me.
And trust me, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you always want something for free.
tell the world. They approached me when they first came around. I think it was the early '90s, and I went and had a meeting with them. And I don't know. I don't remember what they wanted me to do or not. Stern was so on fire.
Yeah.
But I remember thinking to myself, like, is this going to fly? And I guess it flew. It's crazy.
When's the book coming out?
I think fall. But
Okay.
they want to push it sooner, and it's already written, and we got an editor, so
Right. So maybe sooner than the fall.
yeah. But what I'm here to promote, believe it or not, I'm in a sitcom. I'm in a sitcom pilot that's in the Williamsburg Film Festival Thursday night.
Nice.
This guy Elias Plagiano is a great filmmaker, and I met him 10 years ago at Cannes, and we hung out, and he came on my radio show, and he said, "I'm going to put you in something. I'm going to write you into something," and then all of a sudden, he wrote me into this. It's called Shoot Me Nicely, about a tabloid photographer, and I play a landlord. And Linda Hamilton, what's her name from Terminator?
Yeah,
Linda Hamilton
Yeah.
and William Sadler. I mean, it's a great cast, and it's a fun thing. And if we get picked up, I'm gonna, at the age of 79, I'm gonna be a sitcom star.
Look at you, new pussy at 79.
You're not 79.
Well, by the time it gets bought.
Oh, all right.
I'm 68 though, and I'm holding up.
You're more than holding up. You look great. Are you still living out on Long Island?
Still in Bayville. Oh, do you watch a show called The Affair? Did you ever hear of it?
Oh, yes,
heard of The
It's a
Affair.
good show. Yeah,
Yeah.
good stuff about it.
They shot at my house.
Did they really?
In the new season, I was watching. I watched Masters of Sex too, and I'm sitting there.
Yeah, they're both on Showtime, right?
Right, and it got done, and all of a sudden I see a promo for The Affair, and all of a sudden I'm lying in bed, and I'm like, that's my fucking kitchen. Look.
Wait, you're surprised?
Well, I didn't expect to see it in the promo. I wasn't
Right.
thinking,
Oh, right.
I thought you would set that up ahead of time.
They broke in his house and shot some scenes.
No, but I was surprised to
I
actually
heard this
see
house
it.
was great. Fuck it. He might not be home. Let's give it a try.
Well.
What do you think of the Trump thing, Jackie?
Oh, my. I was listening to you guys, and you were rubber stamping everything. I was trying to combine the things you were saying, because I was a big fan of Making a Murderer, too. And I'm thinking when that kid gets out of jail, he's going to find out that Trump's president and ask him to put him back in jail.
I'll go back in.
I cannot. There was a point, at whatever point it would have to be, whatever date it would have to be, because I distinctly remember the thought going into my brain, wait a minute. You can't tell me that Donald Trump is going to be in the fucking Republican debate. Like an actual in the debate.
That was the first thing everyone was discussing. Will he have enough juice to get into the debate?
How could that possibly have happened? And just like every domino is falling, and I'm beside myself. I'm know
happy about it.
I know people that are still crying.
Good. Let them cry.
You're crazy.
I voted Hillary. No, I'm not. I voted Hillary.
But you want Trump to be president.
Prayed for Trump. Because, first of all, he's the candidate they deserve.
Do you understand that? This is
for one.
Okay.
And for two, when I vote...
I'm glad you have an explanation. I want Hillary, so I voted for Trump. I'm thinking...
But I vote like this. Jokes, then community.
Okay.
Oh, it's great for our
I can't
business.
help the broke people if I'm one of them.
I was at a kid's party this weekend, and a friend, my kid's friend's father, I'm close with, and he works for a hedge fund and all that, and he goes, he's not a fan of Trump whatsoever. He goes, but it's great for business. I go, what do you mean? He goes, the value of the company I work for went up $1.5 billion.
Dow Jones jumped 200 points.
And he goes, it's all the drug stocks because, of the possibility that he's going to appeal Obamacare. So a guy who would absolutely vote for Hillary, but knows that Trump is great for his business.
Right, dominoes you wouldn't even assume, like the spider web of the whole thing.
But in less than a week, the company he works for went up $1.5 billion in value.
Well, it will drop. Everything goes, and then it'll level out. But it's still making money.
Yeah, he rescinds everything he said he's going to do. He's not going to do.
But
I'm waiting for him to shave his head next.
But it's a hedge fund and all that, so they know how to work that. They're working it, and they're making a shitload of money already off this.
But it's too scary. It's too scary. All the racism and the anti-Semitic shit. There's so much. I mean, if you got friends here and there, I got a buddy whose father's superintendent of schools, and they're issuing warnings every day in the school. I mean, it's fucking horrible, is what it is.
It feels like a more divided nation now. But the thing is, we got to understand that no matter who's elected president, motherfuckers, our problems remain the same, and we all we got.
Is anyone looking forward to Thanksgiving dinner with their relatives?
I am.
That's gonna change. Oh my God!
Oh, it's gonna be so.
I see what they post on Facebook. Now I gotta face these people. Fuck! Are you kidding me?
That is. So
Yeah, if you post a Trump joke that I said that Trump's going to build a wall around Mar-a-Lago to keep out the landscapers that he owes money, which is a funny joke. And they're like, "Fuck you! You was there? Where you is it?" Okay.
Well,
whoa.
people can't take jokes anymore.
But Jackie, being a comedian, we talk about this a lot on the show. I mean, if you make a joke about Trump, that means maybe in your case it's true. You don't like the guy, and we come from a time where comics used to make fun of both sides, and it's not the case anymore. Johnny Carson's a perfect example. Every night he would make jokes about both
Equal
sides.
opportunity.
I would
Right.
assume he was a lefty. I mean, come on, let's be honest.
Right, but it wasn't
he took
that
shots
big,
at both sides.
It wasn't that big a deal,
Yeah.
Because now with these emotional, disturbed people we have in our fucking country, either it's somebody they love, and if they don't love you, you're Hitler.
It's so polarized.
That's it.
You were here last week. I got killed on that video. I posted the video where I asked. I asked you and some other people. I go, as a human being, this is what I was saying. Not blow off all your politics and everything and what you believe. I said, as a human being, do you feel sorry for Hillary Clinton? That was the question. I got attacked all weekend. You lost, we won. I'm like, that's not
Like it's a football game.
I'm just saying, as a human being, because she worked her whole life for this. No matter if you think she's crooked
and accomplished so much, and
and then she thought she had it. She had the big party at the Javits Center. It was supposed to be a guarantee, and then it all fell apart in front of everyone's eyes. So I'm like, as a human being, does that bother you at all? And man, it doesn't bother anybody.
Here's the thing about Hillary. I did say that she took the 2 worst losses in presidential American history.
Yeah.
First, you lost to a freshman, a 2-term congressman who was a black dude.
Yeah.
Then you lost to Donald Trump with no political experience, never held office.
It's still impossible to believe. I think she had every right. I think she had every right to assume that she was. I thought she was going to walk into the Oval Office and the whole Trump thing was going to be a nightmare that just faded to, and would be telling our grandchildren. You wouldn't believe this. What almost happened?
Yes.
Did you hear the latest on the hiking photo? That's not real. That was all set up. What, Paul?
No, I just saw this over the weekend that this was like her first sighting, but it was a fake.
They're basically saying I don't know, that lady supposedly some kind of operative, and that it was a photo op that was set up to make her look all
she just ran into Hillary while I was walking through the woods
with Bill. They were walking their dog. You know what? Maybe it was set up. The more I think about it. Because Bill and Hillary are just in the woods walking by themselves with a dog, and then they run into this lady that happens to have a baby, and everyone's saying how great the photo is.
Come on.
Like, according to the woman, too, that Bill's holding the camera.
Yeah, right. And the shotgun, and Hillary was looking for a quiet place to go rest.
You can look up that lady.
Wouldn't you much rather want a picture with Bill than Hillary anyway?
I got my picture with Bill. Yeah. At the Book Review in Huntington. You know that place, Jackie.
I know the place. You know, I don't know about you, but I've had enough politics that I could. Richard Belzer said, physical science has not yet come up with a unit of measurement small enough to show how much I care about that fucking picture. Enough.
It went everywhere.
We got a fucking idiot that's going to the White House, and somebody got the picture taken in the leaves.
It goes to my point. I think a lot of people want to see that she's just okay after the beating she took. She took a beating.
She took a whooping.
She looks happy.
All these protesters,
now they're saying she might go for mayor in New York City.
Oh, my good God almighty. Please, no. Please go be a grandma.
That's been floating around.
Run.
That's been floating around today.
She'll lose to a midget.
What, is Bloomberg coming back?
First of all, her boy's mayor now. Her last, campaign manager, de Blasio. So, what are you going to get him out of his job? Let's go be a grandmother.
It might be just all bullshit.
Go on vacation.
The world is crazy.
And I like Hillary.
Strap in, Jackie. It's going to be very interesting.
If that word is absolutely apropos, that's the one thing that everybody can agree on.
Very interesting.
It's going to be so much fun.
Very interesting.
Yes, I think
it's going to be fun, Jackie.
Now, I have a gig coming up, and nobody's ever been political at all at any of my shows ever, but you wonder if you're, anti-Trump, if if people are going to show up and say anything, it's very weird. Like, I just tell dick jokes, and it's got nothing to do with anything and never has.
Comedians are getting beat up. Wanda Sykes up there in Boston over the weekend.
What are you talking about?
She pretty much got booed off the stage, and she was giving everyone the finger.
She didn't get hit, though.
But she was probably
beat up by like that.
But she was probably addressing.
Heading up to Boston right now.
She was addressing it, though, right? She wasn't just up there doing comedy.
If you're just doing comedy, I think you're right. But now it's tough to make the jokes even because that's how passionate the people are. And then I think Nick DiPaolo followed her, and then some woman I think approached the stage while Nick was on.
Nick's used to it.
And Nick had some fun with that. If you want to find
the story. I know he loved it. I know Nick DiPaolo had a ball with it.
Yeah.
Because some comics, I dare you to yell out.
But Wanda Sykes basically, I mean, in a way, she was asking it just because, this isn't going to make Trump people happy. She's calling him a racist from the stage and stuff. Right. She was trying to set up the joke, and they wouldn't have it. They were just booing. And then she walked off, giving everybody the finger. You want to hear this real fast?
Yeah.
All right. I think we got it.
I was like, I am certain this is not the first time we've elected a racist, sexist, homophobic president.
This is the first clip. Here's the second one.
Okay.
You ruined my life, motherfucker. You gonna boo my life? Really?
You're going to boo my life.
Wow. There's another version.
There's a better version
I
of
love
that.
Wanda, love Wanda,
There's
love
another
Wanda.
version where it's taped from the side, where you see her on the stage and then on the monitor on the right, but her people are in the back there, everybody that came with her. And as the crowd's booing her and she's yelling and addressing the crowd, her guys are in the back, and he goes, fuck them. They don't know what they're talking. Like it's like in a rap video when you have your hype guys.
Oh, yeah.
They're off to the side for no.
Oh, you want to see it? It's a minute.
Oh, that's it. Yeah,
it's a minute. It's worth playing.
Here's the thing. After the election, I was going around consoling people. I said, guys, look on the bright side. Look at this. I was telling everybody, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I was like, I am certain this is not the first time we've elected a racist, sexist, homophobic president. He ain't the first one. He's just the first confirmed one. That's it. Fuck you, motherfuckers. Fuck all y'all. Fuck all of y'all.
That's right.
Fuck you. Yes. You. All of y'all. The evidence is there.
Wanda's great.
The evidence is there. How can you say he's not racist? How can you grab him by the pussy? How can you say he's not sexist? How can you say he's not racist? How can you say he's not homophobic?
I hear people cheering now.
I like fuck all y'all.
Fuck all y'all.
Individuals. He's like, you, nigga in a blue shirt, bitch in the hat.
Oh, Wanda
All right, now I got-
Wanda can handle that
Oh,
stuff.
it was great.
I got a
love Wanda.
question for you guys.
Yes.
And I'm sure everybody's probably been over this a million times, but we're in comedy. We're in show business. We're musicians. If anybody knows horny people, horny, over the top people, it's musicians, comedians, and all our friends. We all know them.
Yeah.
Horny motherfuckers. Okay.
Yes.
Out of all, I include myself. Out of all the horny people I know, I don't know one guy that has ever walked up to a girl and just grabbed her by the snatch. Yeah. I'm being serious.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do. There's no reason. There's no
That's true.
future. There's no kick. There's no reason to do that. I also, all the horny guys in 68 years, I don't know anybody that goes to a party or a bar and just walks up to a girl and starts trying to kiss her. It's not something you do. If you're a pussy hound, you don't do that.
Yeah.
And then he's on the bus and he says, I came on to her like a bitch. That's not even a fucking expression. That's not. He's a total sham.
Yeah.
I say he has no game with women at all.
Zero.
He married a foreigner, then he got Marlon Maples and hit her in the Trump Tower and never went near her. Now he's got another foreigner. I don't think the guy knows pussy if it came up and hit him with a stick. I don't think he could make a move on a girl.
Yeah. You don't think he has game?
I don't think he got good game. I believe it.
And the whole thing about the girl from I never can get her name right, Carlo Bruni or whatever her name was, that she was stalking him, who married the president of France.
I know who
she
you're
was
talking about.
stalking him, and Marla Maples said it's best sex I ever had. Those were Cindy Adams things that were called into the Post by Trump's publicist, who was him.
Right.
That was him calling up and said,
Yeah, we heard that audio.
Yeah,
we forgot about that audio.
Marla said it's the best sex she ever. I don't think the guy knows. That's what's so hysterical. I don't think he knows from pussy.
Right.
So not only is he a sexist, he's lying.
Yeah.
You know?
It was a lot of bravado and nonsense. You know when people talk shit about pussy?
Right.
When they don't really get it?
So you agree with that part of this whole thing?
I agree with that part. It sounds clumsy, like a dude who don't get puss.
Right.
Trying to act like he getting puss.
But he gets some because of who he
He's
is
rich
and because he's a billionaire.
Right.
Right. Even a blind pig finds an acorn.
But he doesn't have tact.
No.
It's like, when the last time that he banged, let's say, a hot chick who we all know's hot, who maybe like in Hollywood or something.
We got
never.
Like walk up to her and ran his show.
Right.
And took her in the alleyway, you know.
And gamed her. He don't have game like that.
This is a perfect time to bring in Willie Robertson.
Hello, Willie.
Willie?
From Duck Dynasty.
Yeah!
Willie!
Oh, yes.
What's up, Willie?
What's up, man?
How are you, man?
How you doing?
Big fan.
Welcome to the show.
Jackie, hi.
You know Jackie the Joke Man?
Hi.
Jackie the Joke Man. I just saw you, actually.
Nice to meet you. I saw you out there. I didn't know.
And Sherrod.
Nice to meet you, brother.
Good to see you.
And we're
You too.
talking about Trump. So we said, we can't continue without having Willie in here.
Yes!
Just so you know, Jackie not a fan.
Of me?
No, not of you.
I didn't like either one, to be completely honest with you. Just to be,
Either
put it all on
candidate,
either candidate. I didn't like either one. And Sherrod sort of likes Trump.
I'm a comedian,
for business.
so yeah, it's good business for
Just
me.
so you know what you're getting into here. That's all.
And I say when I vote jokes first, then
Oh,
community.
I'm used to getting in on
Then
things,
schools
so
and roads.
I can handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how you doing? First of all,
I'm doing good.
you good?
Good to see you.
Are we rolling? Are we good?
Yeah, we are.
It never ends. It never
My
ends.
headphones
I
on.
kind of like when they say, "Are we rolling?" That means we're just having a conversation.
We're just talking about how we like to eat ostrich.
We've done
Oh, that was a while ago. Yeah. What was what came up, and what was the wildest thing you ever ate?
Wildest thing I ever ate.
Charlene.
I ate at my friend's house growing up, and his dad cooked something. I started eating. I realized the legs were way too small. I was like, smaller than chicken, smaller.
Yeah.
And I asked my friend. I said, "What are we eating?" And he wasn't sure either. It was either raccoon or possum.
I ate both of those before. Yeah.
Ooh.
That's the South.
Well, you like
Yeah.
the gamey stuff, right?
It don't taste gamey if they stew it up. It just tastes like
throw it in like a
everything
beef
It
stew.
wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad?
It wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't great. I wouldn't have ordered it.
Right. So, you're excited about Trump?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to the people that are kind of scared by this whole thing?
I mean, I think they're just overreacting right now. I mean, everybody needs to calm down, and it's a marathon, not a sprint. So, it'll be 4 years. You ain't gonna stop it. So
Yeah.
See
The
what
protests
happens.
are so stupid. I'm like, what are you protesting? Not being good voters?
Well, they're protesting in the places that Hillary overwhelmingly won.
Yes.
It's like everybody around where the president's like, yeah, we're with you. We get it.
They sing into the choir.
But then they start tearing up everything, which
Makes no
but
sense.
It's the same thing if your team wins the Super Bowl, we tear stuff up. So
you're
maybe
right.
as Americans, we just tear stuff up.
We like tearing stuff up.
And in New York, the Knicks ain't winning so long.
Especially when the Bulls win. They really like
They
tearing things up.
They rip it up.
It's like a rock star selling out Madison Square Garden and going home and wrecking their hotel room. That makes no sense.
I thought he was going to say wife, but all right, the hotel room.
So you suggest the
that's the NFL. No, that's not.
So the protesters have to get to the rural areas, I guess. Don't you think?
What?
Go to.
Oh, that's what I thought.
Go where the Trump people are.
Yes.
Right. Well, I saw the thing in Chicago, where they pour the poor guy, and they're beating the stew out of him. I was like,
In Chicago?
yeah. You didn't see that?
I didn't see the video.
Yeah, they had like a fender bender, and the guy gets out.
Oh, I saw
and
that.
they just beat the trash out of him.
That video is
An
tough
older
to watch.
Is it like a Reginald Denny type of situation?
Yeah, and they're yelling. He voted for Trump. They're kicking him and hitting him. Say that's one of them Trump voters.
That is ridiculous.
You haven't seen this video yet?
No.
We got to find it really fast.
It's
a traffic stop. I think it was a fender. I think it was a fender bender actually. And somehow in the discussion they figured out that he voted for Trump, and then all hell broke loose.
It was bad.
It's an ugly video.
People are ridiculous.
Can you find that?
But
Paul?
I thought that too. I thought. I mean, that's try that down in West Monroe.
Right.
You're just a bully. Like you're picking on one guy.
I agree.
Right. It was 2-on-1.
No,
that's some bullshit.
There's more. No,
was there more than?
Yeah, it was 3 or 4. I mean, I think 2 were actually doing the.
That's people just looking for an excuse. That's so stupid.
Yeah, that's just dumbass people.
Yeah,
if they didn't do that, they'll be fighting in the bar later.
Paul, that's now I want to show the video.
Traffic stop in Chicago. That's the guy.
Was you sure it was Chicago? Because that might be throwing us off.
It was Chicago.
All right.
No doubt.
Look, there's a zillion links to all that.
That's amazing that you can't find because it was. I saw it there's 50 times on the.
Well, there's a lot of other ones. We can just click on another one if you like.
Election brawl number 934.
Is the guy all right though? He didn't die anything.
No, he was all right in the end, but he took a good beating just because of a fender bender. I know the exact video he's talking about.
Well, he should either change his vote or go to driving school.
But there were people. It was a classic. People driving by,
right?
Swerve,
driving right by him and seeing him getting beat up.
Yeah, I mean, driving.
I think that might have been it. Go down.
I'm waiting for it to load.
Is that the guy?
I don't even know if that's the guy. Look, you just stopped us.
The guy
cold
looked
with
older,
this.
but you actually never see his face, really.
Maybe that's the guy after.
I hope this is the video because there was part of this I wanted to figure out.
Right.
And I had to think if it were me, if I'd have gotten in a few punches myself, I was wondered would I have gotten in a couple?
Well, what do you do in that case?
Oh, I know what I would have did if I was him.
Street.
I would have yelled, "No, I voted for Bernie, Bernie!" They would have backed off. I would have got in my car and ran them all fucking over. But I'm different.
All right, Chicago West Side. Warning: video contains graphic.
Oh, this is it.
You voted Trump! You voted Trump!
Oh, this is just ignorant people.
White guy in a blue hoodie.
I was trying to figure out what the guy is. That somebody trying to steal something out of his car?
Oh, yeah,
the other guy. See, he's more concerned trying to get that guy out of his car.
Don't vote Trump! Don't vote Trump! This shit didn't.
And they're taking turns.
Still good.
They were stealing. That's just somebody robbing somebody and trying to throw Trump into it. They throw him off the trail. They're trying to take a cell phone.
And then insult to injury, they drive off with his car.
They drove over the car too?
Yes,
they Trump jacked his car.
I saw a longer version where they drive off. I don't know how far. Maybe
so why steal the stuff out the car if you just want to take the car anyway?
I don't know. The longer version of this, they drove away with the car.
That was
how
sad.
Far,
Some old man getting beat up by some dumb young kids.
That's pathetic.
I hope they all go to fucking prison.
But then the other side, you got kids at school, screaming, "Build that wall! Build that wall!"
In the lunchroom.
In the lunchroom. It's a mess out there, Willie.
It's a mess.
Were they yelling at?
Don't look at me to face.
Were they yelling at like Hispanic kids in the lunchroom?
Yeah, all that shit's going on
That's
right
what
now.
Kids are assholes.
That's sort of. I agree with that.
Yeah, kids are assholes.
Kids just say shitty things to begin with. So they got an excuse to say some shitty things in the cafeteria now.
I'm sure they go yell and grab that pussy too.
Well, Jackie.
I started that one.
Yeah.
I started the champ.
Jackie doesn't think Trump has game when it comes to women.
No, I really don't. I really don't. What do you think?
Well, he's kind of old.
No, he's saying, now he's old.
He's my age, Willie.
He's 70.
He is 70, yeah. The oldest elected.
No, but I'm talking about 30 years ago he didn't,
Like he didn't have walk-up game on a girl, like walking up like, how you doing? What's your name? Want a drink? Would you like something?
Right.
He just thought he had rich dude thing like this. Turn around, let me see your boobs.
Right.
They can be fixed. Grab your pussy, let's get out of here.
Right. Yeah. Which means,
Or grab a girl and start kissing him, like
but
you
either
said.
thing works. If I had that kind of money, I would have less game with bitches. I would have no shirt on all the time.
Yeah.
Penis probably be out. I'll be counting money. Be like, did you want to count this with me? Yeah, I'll be dead.
Yeah,
I think we got a reality show going.
Yeah, I don't think you can have your penis out. Willie, what are you promoting? The American Fisherman, right?
American Fisherman, yeah.
Yes,
I wrote
sir.
a book about fishing in America, kind of the history of it, and
The history of
putting
it.
it together, and promoting. See, that's where all people like in New York where we're at right now. You need to just get away, go fishing, chill out.
Some people
don't
try to
protest.
do that. They lose their cell phones and it washes away.
I took up surf casting. I tapped out of fishing for a good 20 years, and then this summer I rediscovered it. I love surf casting for striped for striped bass.
No, wait, I got a question. I heard this while I was sitting out there.
Yeah.
Why would you go fishing? To get away.
What do you mean?
Why the fuck would you bring your cell phone to go surf casting?
Because we bring our cell phones everywhere.
Because your kids. Something might happen to your kid.
But you know what? When you get close enough to the ocean, you don't get the signal. So it accomplishes some things. So you're shutting down for a little while. I love
So you can't make a call, but you can wreck your phone.
You lost your phone or you dropped it in the water?
Yeah, Willie.
Perfect.
What do you mean perfect?
That's great. That's what needed to happen.
That's what should have happened. He's right.
But that's fine. We all need that. I did on vacation. I dropped mine, smashed it, wouldn't work. Best vacation I've ever had.
Did you have your stuff backed up?
You're right.
Yeah, I mean, but for like a week, I had nothing.
How about I didn't have anything backed up? How about my kid's first Christmas that I had video of is now gone?
You're living in the past, man.
You didn't have it in the cloud or whatever?
I thought I had it backed up until I went, I know.
How can I be sad?
At least this is
like before cell phones, nobody even had that option. So you can't be sad. You just got to move on.
All right. Give me your phone. Let me smash it in front of your face and see if you get sad or not.
I had my friend shoot his phone last year, and he went without a phone for like 6 months.
Yeah,
he shot it?
He shot it with a gun.
It's the poor man's vacation.
It's the new Elvis Presley.
The last text said, I'm off the grid, like I'm out. Shot it. It was so... But who it hurt was his wife, because then we all text his wife. Tell him.
All right.
Tell him
it inconveniences everybody else.
Yes, because we still needed, like, life went on. We needed to know where to meet at.
But when you leave your phone at home, or in my case, by the time it took a good week before I could get a phone again, it was kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to dinner at my sister's last night, and I left my phone at home, and it was like, wow. It's like
that's how we used to live.
Yeah, like, wow.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice,
Do you surf cast, Willie?
No.
So what kind? Fly fishing?
Some, yeah. Did that this year. Went up Montana. Actually, with the friend who shot his phone.
Oh, really?
Oh,
with that guy. Yeah, that guy.
Where in Montana?
It's Adam LaRoche. That's who shot his phone. Remember Adam? He quit baseball this year. You remember this? Because they wouldn't let his kid in the clubhouse.
That's right, Chicago.
That's who shot his phone.
Oh, no kidding.
Before that, this was like a year or so ago.
Is the kid okay?
The kid's okay.
Okay, good.
And he's loving it. He's the best thing he ever did.
That was an amazing story.
Great story.
They didn't want his kid around. Obviously, some of the players were talking. You probably know.
It wasn't the player. It was that GM.
It's the GM.
So the players didn't even give a crap?
Adam was the most every team he's played on, everybody loves that guy. He's just a salt of the earth guy, and they kind of were just jacking around with, like, GM said it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Now, last year, they had his kid in the clubhouse, had his own locker. They were doing webcasts with his kid. Like, it was the team was doing that, not him.
Right.
Then the next year, all of a sudden, he can't go in the clubhouse. Adam had a bad year, didn't have as many homers, didn't was making $13 million a year, and all of a sudden Jim goes, yeah, we're not going to let your kid.
So they figured out a way to
put him to the test,
and of course, then at that point,
my buddy said, "See ya."
Yeah, you got it. And when they're going after your kid like that, then
I mean, he wasn't gonna. So he walked away, and he was.
So
we did some fly fishing with Adam. Marcus Luttrell was there, lone survivor. He was with us,
right?
And had a good time. But no, mostly my favorite kind of fishing is literally with a cane pole, bucket, worms, just sitting there.
Yeah.
Pulling them out, old school.
Yes.
Yeah, I now love fishing again. I tried
it's
the fly.
addictive. Once you start back,
I tried the fly fishing. I stink at that.
It's tough.
Thank you for saying that.
It's hard.
You got to study. You got to study what's on the water, and then you got to hope you have a fly that looks like what they're eating on the water.
Right.
They're really it's like tiny. It's supposed
things.
To go
almost
down
like,
just exactly.
Yeah, people sit there for a week building the flies.
It almost looks like lint.
That's me before the beard. That's my dad beside me. Yeah.
It almost looks like.
Wait, what?
That's me without the beard.
Right here?
Shaw tobacco.
Holy shit.
That wasn't a tumor, that was tobacco.
How long is that? How long ago was that?
Probably 12, 13 years ago.
Wow.
California, yeah.
What are we looking at?
Up
Are
near
those
Sacramento,
freshwater
those are
fish?
salmon.
That's salmon, yeah.
Salmon?
That's some impressive.
That's a weird
salmon.
fishing, too, yeah.
I've never fished for
Kind
salmon.
of bounce it off the bottom, and those guys taught me how to do that.
Right. I just started surf casting this past summer, and now I'm going to move. I'm going to probably jump on a boat again, start fishing out, in the open water.
Where are you surf casting? On the island?
Out on Long Island.
But where?
And Jersey.
South Shore, North Shore?
Ocean, yeah. South Shore. So it's fun.
I don't fish, but all my friends bring over, stripers and bluefish. Because a lot of fishermen don't eat fish, which is so funny.
Right.
And I love to eat it, but I can't sit out there with a pole. I go crazy.
You sit on you sit in a chair. You have
you can do that. It's not difficult.
You have beers, and then when that rod goes, there's nothing better.
It's exhilarating.
That's a small one. That's one of my strike bass.
That's the biggest fish Opie ever caught right there.
No, it really isn't.
I like catching. I just don't like fishing.
That one wasn't even legal. That was about 20.
Catching.
20 Very good.
You like eating.
And he lives on the water, too, this Jackie, and he doesn't fish. So tell us more about the book.
So we talk about a lot of presidents that fish. FDR, big fisherman.
Yeah, he
was into fishing, and you're talking about some of the most trying times in America. What he loved to do was go out and get away and fish. What I love, and we researched this about the book, was that he basically used the United States Navy as his ride to get to fishing places.
Oh, wow.
How cool is that?
They talk about that at the Museum of Natural History right on the west side. There's a whole thing about FDR and its hunting and its fishing,
but I
and how
know,
he used to use Navy boats.
I didn't know about jump on there, and they were taking right. Which the troops loved it. They loved it because he was. Yeah, he was. You have the president, right? And he was handicapped, so they rigged him out so he could fish, and he just loved to get away and go do that.
What kind of fishing was he doing with the Navy? Like
there he is.
Well, he was doing like salt. Yeah, there you go. Like, he was doing like saltwater fishing, but he did all kinds of fishing.
There you go.
Winston Churchill came over. They met at Camp David, and they went on a little fishing trip and talked about it. Yeah, he
had that car too that went right onto the train that used to come right out of Grand Central. They used to take that shit out to the boat because he never was seen walking around the city because he couldn't walk.
Right.
But not to be a total jerk, but if you had a wife that looked like that, you would have fished a lot.
Oh man!
I like how he said not to be a jerk. Like somehow that qualified. Oh, okay, he wasn't being a jerk.
No, he wasn't being a jerk at all.
Remember Red Fox said, Elder Roosevelt is an ugly white woman. An ugly white woman.
We one day in the show we went and looked at all the first ladies through the years.
Wow.
It wasn't good.
Eleanor looked better when she was younger. I'll give her that.
She looked fine when she was younger.
Yeah.
What a great person.
Yeah, great person.
So that's why I was excusing myself of being a jerk. Oh yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, she's
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? I'm gonna go fishing.
She's got her mother's teeth, but unfortunately she has hers too. That's a good joke. I just made that up.
Write that down, Jackie.
No. I'd probably steal it for myself.
Who else liked fishing as far as the presidents go?
Eisenhower, big fisherman.
Eisenhower. He was a golfer too, right?
He was.
At Augusta.
He enjoyed his leisure sports.
He was.
He loved going to Augusta and playing.
Yeah,
he had a cabin or something like that.
He did. And speaking, I'm going to bring all those things you just said together. George H.W. Bush. Now, this one wasn't in the book, but I learned this. I got to play Augusta.
Wow.
Which was like my number one bucket list thing to do. And they said George H. would come to Augusta, wouldn't play golf, he'd fish. Because there's such big bass and nobody ever fishes.
That's amazing.
I'll let you on. You can't get on for anything.
Wow.
And it's true down there. It's like super secretive. I started asking, like, hey, what's the deal?
Right.
No, they don't talk.
I was reading a book on the Secret Service guy for Eisenhower, Kennedy, and all that. He would have to walk the course at Augusta while Eisenhower played with just shotguns and rifles in his golf bag. That's how they did it.
We interviewed him in here, didn't we?
Yeah, the old man.
I called him 4 for 5 because he was on
5. Oh, fuck, that's right.
Good old 4 for 5.
Oh my God,
Jesus!
He continued to work after that.
Yeah,
he was very fascinating guy. He worked for 5 presidents, was it?
Great stories. Just machine guns in a caddy bag.
Right.
It's like, who, what?
Wow.
That's amazing.
Well, that was the old days before they really truly shut everything down like they now do.
Yeah.
I will say this. I made it 4 holes.
Oh, I wanted to ask you about
with
golf.
a bandana before they brought a hat out to me.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't know it was a big deal, but it was. So they came out and they said, Mr. Robertson, we brought you a hat. And I thought, oh, thanks. I was going to throw it in the, and I was playing with Ozzie Smith, the baseball player.
Sure.
And he said, Willie, that means put the hat on. I said, oh, okay, take the bandana off.
Thanks. You put it in your bag. That's so funny.
But to tell the whole story, I kid you not, I was going to wear these polyester blue golf pants.
Yeah.
Someone passed away. Sadly, I got his clothes. This was part of the collection. Had it all laid out. Roll in, put the pants on, zipper gone. Like there's not even the little tongue thing.
Right.
And polyester really gaps up. Yeah. So I said, man, I was going to wear these cool pants. I put them up. I put on my shorts. I go down there, and I go to get in the van where they were picking me up, and this guy was there. He's my driver for Augusta. He said, oh, Mr. Robinson, they don't allow short pants at Augusta. And I said, oh, man, we got a problem. The only other pair of pants I got has no zipper. He said, maybe we get a safety pin. So I safety pin them, but it was still gaping open. Yeah, you could see my underwear. So then I put on a giant overstuffed sweatshirt so that you could, it was not the look I wanted for Augusta. Then I had to take my bandana off and I got a goofy hat on. It was just, I looked horrible. I got to play Augusta, but I looked terrible.
But at least you weren't wearing shorts. So, you know.
Did not. I didn't wear short pants.
They probably weren't happy with the beard, too, down there. They're pretty strict.
You can't wear shorts even when you play out there?
Dude, they wouldn't even allow women until
well, I can understand that part.
A couple of years ago.
Nobody really
no shorts.
No shorts.
Wow.
But it's weird when no one's there. Like there wasn't a soul there.
Right.
And it's that course is a lot more open than you think. You used to see on TV with all the people, but with the people not there, it's not. In fact, it didn't play because the greens weren't fast. Because we played in the November.
Okay.
So the greens were kind of average, and so it wasn't like, oh, this is the hardest thing.
Oh yeah, they cut them down, so it's like putting on cement.
Yeah,
or whatever.
when the greens were lightning.
Forget it.
I just played Hazeltine a couple of weeks ago, where they had the Ryder Cup.
Sure.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I shot like 120. I mean, green. I've had 5 4-putts, so I understood that one seemed. I mean, because they still have the grandstands up. Yeah, and those guys were making so many birdies, and I thought, how good are they? I mean,
that they're doing
because that course is hard.
Wow.
What's your handicap?
Probably 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You play a lot?
It's impressive.
Okay. Yeah.
8's good.
I used to.
You used to play more than
before the show, yeah. I used to play a lot of golf.
The show slowed you down as far as you're
Now I played in the Lake Tahoe golf, the celebrity one. So now I get to do all these cool, fun things, and now I'm not near as good as I used to be. But I did last year.
Do you pad that handicap?
Nah. I didn't turn a score in for like 8 years, so I'm telling you, I mean, it's about an 8. Well, there's no good in bragging than going out there and if you're good,
sucking
you're
it
good.
up, yeah.
You know?
A lot of guys pad for the money matches.
You can't.
The money rounds.
But last year at the American Century Celebrity Tournament, I won the closest to the pin. There was like 12 celebrities.
Right.
Timberlake was in it. Alfonso Rivera, some good golfers, dudes that won it before. And I hit one in there about 6 feet and won this giant trophy, right?
Yes.
It's a Corbel champagne spot, so I got the trophy.
Nice.
And it's my first year in the deal. I thought, I just
that's
won this
amazing.
thing. So I'm standing behind the check. So I'm giving check. It's on NBC. It's a big deal. I don't know what the charity is.
Right.
So I look down at the charity. It says Lake Tahoe Wildlife Association. I thought, wildlife? I'm a hunt. What? And I said, what do y'all do? And the lady said, we help injured animals back into the woods. And then I was like, oh, the irony that I'm giving you this check
after I shoot them.
Honest to God, that was the charity.
Holy
and
shit.
The lady's watching going, okay, please, just don't let that guy win. I mean, for 1 week, I was in the PETA magazines and the hunting magazines at the same exact time.
That's amazing.
There you go.
That really is amazing. With that, the American Fisherman, what else about the book? It's out now or out tomorrow? And what do we got?
Out tomorrow, yeah. We're excited about it. It's a good book. Goes through the history, talks about fishing now, and it's not a how-to. It's just kind of a historical book and just tells you these really cool unknown stories about fishing and how they played a part in the Revolutionary War, Civil War, just some cool stuff.
How did it play a part in the Revolutionary War?
Revolutionary War. Well, George Washington was a commercial fisherman.
That's how they ate.
By trade. That was his most successful business. In fact, he had some others that didn't go. But so, these guys were starving, trying to fight this war. They're asking everybody to send food. Like, if you have anything, send it over. And George and them ended up throwing some nets out, catching fish. And that's really what pushed him through was being able to catch those fish. So.
Nice protein.
I never knew that. Did you do an audio version of the book?
No, we will have one, but I probably won't. The hardest job I've ever had in my life was reading a book for audio. Have you ever done it? It's the hardest thing.
I've never done it.
You think it's easy? Like, just pick the book.
No, everyone says that. It's a pain in the ass.
It's miserable.
Especially
it took me like 2 weeks.
You mess up a word and you got to go
do
back.
it over. You're breathing too hard. I'm like, so my last book, I paid my brother to do it.
Oh, really?
You go do it.
But I think if you're a celebrity, I don't give a fuck if you're messing up some words and breathing heavy.
Well, and here's the deal.
Cares?
I say words like I would say words. Like I say, we're gonna go.
Right.
Well, they let me know gonna is not a word.
Right.
But it's people who buy your book.
That's absurd.
I said, I'm going to say it because that's what I said. And they said, no, we're going to go.
No, that's
I'm
going to have to voice my book, and how can you do it without fucking around? Because it's going to make you think of something else.
Right.
And, to just sit and read it, it'll be crazy.
Especially when they say don't breathe so hard. Like, you start thinking about your breathe, every little thing.
And then you're panicking. Stupid.
And I had to go back and
readers.
do pickups,
Dumb
just like a TV show. It was insane.
It's like me trying to play golf. I'm listening to everything that I've heard for the last 10 minutes. Do this, don't do this, don't do this. It's a wonder I can hold on to the fucking club.
All right, we got to take a break. Willie Robertson, first time on the show. You got to come back and see us.
Definitely.
Will do, guys. Enjoyed it.
All right. Jackie, what do you got before we take a break?
December 3rd. 7 p.m. I'm at McGuire's in Bohemia on Long Island. It's one of the governors, and I'm videotaping for my documentary. So that's going to be a fun show. So those governors shows are just fun. It's a small club, but it's kick ass and it's great. I got such a weird. I go out to Las Vegas and 2,500 people at Orleans Arena and kill, and 2 nights later I'm in Jersey for 50 people. I'm like, how the fuck do these coexist? But you do it.
That's your life.
You need them both, though. You need them both.
That's your life, right?
Yeah, that's my life.
That's your life.
And Thursday night, I got 9 p.m. Thursday night at the Wyeth Cinema in Williamsburg. Is the Williamsburg Independent Film Festival, and I'm in Elias Plagiano's Shoot Me Nicely, and it's funny as hell, and I'm a landlord.
Nice.
And
all right, we'll talk more about that after the break.
Let's not forget about my black and white show that's also on A&E, where Willie's show is.
Yeah, he did.
That I wrote, host, produced.
Do you play the black part or the white part?
I play both parts. I wrote, produced, and created it. So I took 9 white jobs.
I did not even realize that till you just said it.
Black and white. We're
in the same family.
Boom! Look out for me, though. Say good things about me around the office.
How about you get them for your lead-in?
We did 8 episodes already. Only like 5 aired already, but yeah, we did 8.
So you got some more coming?
Some more coming.
Congratulations.
We Wednesday nights. It was on after Warburgers.
That's our night.
I know. But we was on during the summer, too, most of the time.
Okay, gotcha.
When you was out fishing.
But that's our night. You can't be on Wednesday night.
He was getting a little nervous. Wait a minute. That's our night. That's our night.
Well, if they put him by our show, you're doing pretty good.
I'm trying to.
There's a lot of viewers coming in on Wednesday night.
I'm trying to take some of them.
You need their lead-in.
Say a lot of good things about my show, please, Will.
Come on, Will.
I will.
Black and white. Yes.
You're the lead-in for him. That's good for everybody.
Are you gonna be? Or is it gonna be on next week? This week?
No, we're coming back on after the Thanksgiving holiday for the last couple episodes.
Okay, because we start our new show starts Wednesday, and we have a new show called Going Cyril that is on after our show.
That's amazing. What's that about?
It's me and Uncle Cy. It's kind of like
That's gonna be good.
Ridiculousness or America's Funniest Video. We watch internet videos and then we'll just turn Cy loose. It's funny. I mean, I say it's funny. Yeah, it goes.
Right.
It looks funny to me. I don't know. We'll see what the people say. But
you could say
it felt funny.
Going Cyril.
Going Cyril. Yeah, we shot 10 episodes, and what I love about it, we shot 10 episodes in 3 weeks. So
nice.
That would take 4 months for Duck Dynasty. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was good. So we watch internet clips, and it's.
How many more years for Duck Dynasty, you think?
I don't know. Got a big announcement tomorrow.
Here we go.
How about you give us the big
Yeah,
announcement?
with a little tease.
Come on,
here.
give us the big
It's
announcement.
all about teasing.
Little red meat. Come on, Willie.
It's almost tomorrow.
It's been over 5 years, if you can believe it.
That's
5 years.
unbelievable.
It's almost tomorrow. Let's go. Come on.
We've done 130 episodes.
Damn!
Woo!
Come on, give us some love today.
That's a lot of
What's the big
sausage
announcement?
making.
Eric, you know what the big announcement is?
And nobody knows. I wouldn't even. I mean, I can't spoil it.
You're not pregnant.
Maybe I am.
Who knows? Why don't we take a break then? Thanks, Willie, for stopping by. All right. We'll continue. Back with Jackie the Joke Man.
Woohoo!
I think Sherrod is smoking somewhere.
Yep.
Smoking a little of the funny stuff.
I smelled it.
It smells good, right, Jackie?
Yeah.
I started partaking a little bit.
Really?
After many years in retirement.
Welcome back.
It's not bad. I like.
What's your method of choice?
I do edibles.
Really?
Why is Paul shaking his head?
Paul does nothing.
No, they're worse than smoking it.
Why is it worse?
They can have higher THC levels.
That's why people do edibles.
I haven't eaten anything in 30 or 40 years because you can't control. In college, you eat a brownie and you don't get high, so you eat another brownie and you don't get high, and you eat another, and then all of a sudden you're on the moon for 3 days. You know?
You gotta make sure that 75 minutes goes by.
I got 5 gummy bears that have been in my closet for
I got gummy bears.
6 months. I haven't eaten one
But
yet.
you got to go 1 or 2, and then you got to wait. You got to wait the 75 minutes. It says it right there. That's the mistake my brother-in-law made. And then he was convinced he might be, he might kill his whole family. He didn't think anything was going on, so he popped another one. He didn't wait the 75 minutes. You got it.
You know what I got? I have remember those Rice Krispie treats with marshmallow?
Yeah, sure.
I have a Rice Krispie treat with pot in it.
Yeah. They're putting it in everything now, Jackie.
Jesus.
I like the chocolate the best, but I haven't come across that lately.
And you take a very light dose?
Yeah, I'm not getting crazy with this. I got 2 very small kids.
So how long does this last?
What do you mean? The buzz?
An hour? Or
Yeah,
5
a few
hours?
hours, sure. It'll put me to sleep at night. I time it so I get a good night's sleep. Look at Jackie.
It's just so funny.
Why?
Grown men, like I'm you
rather
walk
do
outside
that-
a bar and stand in an alleyway and I'm smoking a bowl and I'm like, how old am I?
Yeah, but that's way better than drinking. I'm done with drinking. I don't like it.
I haven't had a sip in 15 years.
Wow, really? I was never a huge fan of it, but I'd rather do an edible or whatever, some wax or something before
Do you
drinking.
watch anything while you're on it?
What do you mean? Yeah.
Like what? Like Walking Dead?
Yeah, sure. I saw it last night.
How about that line Negan said?
It was fucking amazing. You watched The Walking Dead?
And I started and then it didn't get me. And I don't know how it didn't get me, but it didn't get me.
It is a great, great show. Why is E-Rock shaking his head? Why? Because Jackie should be watching Walking Dead, right?
Yes, of course. Everybody should be watching it.
Tell Jackie the line. It was ridiculous.
You tell it.
It's your show.
I think you should tell it, Paul.
No,
you
it's
brought
yours.
it up. I'll give you some
all
radio
you.
time.
Yeah,
it's your
Paul.
turn.
Well, who do you want to tell you the line?
Both of you.
Yeah, all right, you go first.
Paul, you tell it and then he'll correct you.
No, he could do it first.
No, he said you should. Go ahead.
It's slipping my mind right now. I think you should do it.
All right, we get it. I don't watch The Walking Dead. That's the point.
Of course not.
Okay. You want to bring Alan in from the documentary you saw, Jackie?
Sure.
You watched 14 Minutes from Earth?
It was unbelievable. I got a lot of questions, but you know what? Wait for him to come in here because I have a really obvious question. I feel like such an idiot.
I think I got the same obvious question. What's up, Alan?
Hey, how's it going?
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing well.
It's the world's craziest person.
Yeah, welcome to the show, man.
Thank you.
What a pleasure.
How do you say your last name? I think I've been butchering it all day.
Eustace.
Eustace? Yeah, I think I was close, wasn't I?
That's a female first name, isn't it?
Eustace?
It is a first name for
Eustace.
some people.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard anyone named Eustace as a first name.
Am I crazy?
No,
No,
not crazy. One of the popular shows, I can't remember which one, has a character named Eustace.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Do you still work at Google?
No, I retired 18 months ago.
Why did you retire from that gig?
It was good. I worked there for 13 years. Part of the thing about the stratospheric jump was I had a deal with my boss to let me go on zero notice, so I could go do a test leaving at 10 o'clock the night before if the test was ready to go the next day. And to do that, I had to build up a team of people underneath me that were capable of taking over for me at any moment. So anyway, that's what I did. And so once I came back, I stayed there for 5 or 6 months, just made sure that everything was in place, and left with a team of people that were ready to be promoted, honestly, into my job. So
I just would think Google would be such an amazing place to work that you would never want to leave.
But, I never want to be one of those people like, that where they have to kick you out after being there for a long time. I kind of wanted to leave when I was on
I knew
top.
a girl that worked there, and I go over there. You eat like a king, and there's playrooms, and it was just like amazing.
They know how to take care of their employees. You're listening to this down the hall.
Jesus. Well, not to make everything all about me, but who do I contact to get my own name at Gmail? Somebody has Jackie Martling at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's no way to chase that down, is there?
No. You could send email to that person.
Yeah, man.
I did.
Buy it from them.
And they're ignoring you?
Never answered. I think it's a dead email. I didn't mean to eat up your time. I was just being a jerk.
I mean, all right.
I've never encountered anybody I could ask that.
I saw the documentary this morning, 14 Minutes from Earth. And, wow, why did you decide you wanted to do this? I know you liked, skydiving, but then this is taking it to a ridiculous level.
Well,
what was the genesis?
Yes.
Well, I started skydiving when I was 18, and skydived for a long time, had over 500 jumps, and then I gave it up. I started flying airplanes, and for a long time that was my passion and hobby, and I used it for transportation. And then, and I've always been an engineer. I've always loved all aspects of engineering, and I grew up in the space age when. There were where I lived in Orlando, there were, Apollo, rockets going off and Gemini rockets going off. And my dad was an aerospace engineer. So I've always loved the area. But at some point, I had a project that required me to kind of get up to speed at skydiving again. And so I did. I felt like that was fun. And it was as fun and as interesting as I remembered it a long time ago.
Yeah.
So after a 15-year hiatus, I got back to skydiving, and there was this problem of, how do you go really high? And Red Bull at that time was publicizing that they were doing it using a capsule approach. And for me, I've never thought that was the right approach. I thought you should do something different.
So you already wanted to do something like this when you saw that Red Bull was doing it?
I had actually been interested in it from the very beginning. I've read every book on this subject for a long time. It was just the fact that Red Bull was doing an attempt on it and using the technology that I thought was, probably incorrect for this particular thing. I think it goaded me into thinking differently.
Right.
And I think that was the genesis.
Right.
You know, there's other ways to get really high, though, right? I just wanted to know.
Simpler ways?
Yeah, simpler ways.
Can I ask the
I'll have to write
stupidest?
that down.
Can I start this off with the stupidest question of them all?
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know.
You're here, and the thing takes you up all those miles.
25 miles, I believe. Close to 25
I'm
miles.
looking down from, and seeing this immense Earth. How the fuck, how do you come down in the same spot?
Yeah, you don't. That's actually a good question.
But you come down pretty close to where you started.
No, not really. I mean, he's correct.
He came down in Harlem.
Like, I'm thinking, how do you land in the same country?
All right. Well,
country is relatively easy, but same spot is almost impossible.
How many miles off were you guys?
So, what happens is you use the National Weather Service, and they basically tell you what the winds aloft are going to be, and you put that in a program that calculates the exact path you're going to go. So the day before, we know what path we're likely to take. We fly it in a helicopter. We look at every place along that path and say, if we had to abort at any time, where would we land? And, we note areas that are, kind of better or worse. I mean, there's no place that you can't land there, but because there's essentially no trees, no houses. It's
nothing.
Yeah, it's eastern New Mexico. There's just not a lot of things to hit. But so you track that, you mark all the areas, and then right before you launch, there's another balloon that we send up that basically gives us perfect weather information about what all the different layers of the atmosphere. And I think what was surprising to me going into the project, and I think is surprising to most people, is you think the jet stream, is going to provide some, fast-moving air, and it does. But the most serious flow of air was actually in the stratosphere. There's something called stratospheric winds, and on the day of my jump, it was blowing at about 110 miles an hour.
Wow.
And that's so
that
fast.
varies?
It changes. It can be up to 150 miles an hour. And here's the shocking thing to me. Twice a year, it flips. Over a 2-day period, could be 100 miles an hour in one direction, and then 2 days later, it's 100 miles an hour in the other direction. And that's important in Roswell, New Mexico. Is everything in the east is beautiful landable terrain. Everything to the west is horrible terrain, mountains, white sand missile base, and things like that.
Well, that's where the aliens crash.
Yeah, that's true. That's why we picked Roswell.
The aliens, they couldn't figure that eastern Mexico out.
Now, you a married man?
Yes, I am.
Now, how
Married
much
with
did
2
you
kids.
and your wife argue before you said, I'm going to jump on the plane?
She was the greatest thing in the movie. She really is great.
Yeah.
What a great attitude.
No plane. Well, plane to no. Well, that was the testing.
Yeah, so she was not happy about it.
There we go.
Understand.
Now you're a human being to me.
Yeah, it's
you want to do what?
Early on, it was just that she really felt like she didn't really think it was going to happen.
Right.
Because I come up with bad ideas pretty much so frequently that she kind of ignores most of them.
It's a lot smarter to just say, good idea, sure. My mother always said that. No matter what I said, she said, go ahead. She knew I wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah, so she ignores him because it's like, okay,
Right.
he has these ideas all the time, but this one's stuck.
Yeah, after a couple of years, she started to realize that this was actually. I had a team. I was spending money on it. Things were picking up, and at that point, her issue was safety, not whether I would survive or something like that. I mean, she was fearful of what might happen to me on this, and I came on it from kind of an engineering and science background, and so I knew the test we had done, and I really thought it was 100% safe. I could not think of a single thing that could possibly go wrong that we hadn't already tested, like many times before. So for me, I thought it was safe, and there was no way for me to communicate that. But it's funny in the movie because one of the things I think Jerry does a really good job at is most of the films that are about these kinds of activities concentrate solely on, this, wild, crazy stunt kind of thing, and they never really talk about the families that much.
Right.
And what that. Juxtapose those two things. And so, for me, that was the fun thing, is to kind of see that. And eventually she allowed me to do it. But it wasn't because I convinced her it was a good idea. Oh, she had a lot of constraints. She gave me 13 things that I had to do before I could jump. A long list. And,
right. 5 was new life insurance.
Yeah, they were carefully crafted to make me think very, very seriously.
What were some of the things?
The classic honeydew list, right?
Well,
like if you're paralyzed, so-and-so happens, decapitated.
No. There was a little bit of that, but no. Some of the things were the obvious one, like I had to get my will, straightened out.
What did I say?
Yeah, so Will was there, make sure the financials, all that kind of stuff. So some of them were just purely practical things. But, the way she looked at it is, I don't want to have to clean up after you if this thing goes really badly.
Right.
So I want you to do everything for me ahead of time in the event that something
So you cleared your hard drive on your computer. You don't want nobody finding everything.
Yeah, no.
Why do you think he went up there? That's still floating around in space somewhere.
He left his hard drive.
Let me say, they told me that we were going to be on the show together, so they said, Roland said you should watch this movie, and I'm watching it, and as I'm watching, I'm like, if the guy dies, they would have told us that, right? Like, I'm watching it not knowing. Like, I didn't Google or anything. You know what I mean? I didn't Google to make sure. I didn't even know whether you were coming in or the doc guys or the engineers.
I was kind of mad because I knew he was coming in. I'm like, all right, this blows it for me.
Yeah, I didn't want to look it up because
I didn't want to know.
Because there's a couple times, and then things went really bad, and like, oh, fuck, but
yeah.
Well, it was funny, too, because when I watched the movie, too, I'm as scared as anybody else watching it.
I believe it.
And I know the ending. I actually know all the intermediate parts. But
how long
that's the great thing about film, though, is that you add the music, you cut out to just the points where things are happening. And great filmmakers actually suck you into this drama, and so I was as fearful. I think I was more fearful watching the movie than I was in the actual event.
How cold was it with the freeze test when you were in the special suit?
That was the coldest I've ever been in my life.
Wait, you still feel the cold in the suit?
Oh, yeah. No, the suit has heaters. Basically, they've got, the external temperature that we were testing down to was minus 126 degrees. So super cold. And we had a heater inside the suit, inside the environmental equipment module, and that would run essentially hot water around my body.
Right.
And so that was what would keep me warm. The gloves were not really capable of heating enough. But the funny thing about the whole thing is that we way over-designed that system. It turns out in the actual jump to really high, it got relatively cold through the jet stream areas. Let's say from 30,000 feet to 60,000 feet. It got cold, but no more than sort of a cold day on the ski lift kind of thing.
Oh, really?
And then after that, there are so few molecules up there, so they're moving really slowly, which is why the temperature is really cold. But there's so few of them that they don't really interact with you. So we turned off all the heaters at 80,000 feet, and I was like perfectly comfortable and thermally
How do you but how do you guys know you could turn it off at 80,000
Because
feet?
I was warm.
He was getting hot.
So you told them, look, I'm good.
I told them, no, I'm fine. Just turn it off at this point.
Wow.
And they were super happy.
Is it any kind of thing that like hooked up to like what if you have to go to the bathroom?
Oh, well, bathroom
is it a shit pump? Is it a piss pump?
No,
it wasn't that long.
It was only.
But you're jumping out of a plane. You might shit yourself.
Well,
it's actually.
I shit myself watching a movie.
It's actually a balloon that takes him up.
Right.
Yeah. And then he has a release. No, he has a release, and then and that lets him go from the balloon.
Yeah,
and then it's 14 minutes back down to Earth. Right. That's why the name of the movie, 14 minutes from Earth.
One of the funny things about the thing is there's nothing to eat. You can't eat. So that's not really an issue. As a matter of fact, you stop eating the day before. You eat a steak, like 18 hours before, and you have eggs 7 o'clock the next day. So, maybe 13 or 14. So you don't have to worry about number 2. You're safe.
Okay. What about number 1?
But number 1, that is important because we originally put in a drink bag so that I could, like a Camelback style thing, it would allow me to drink the whole time. Yeah. But if you see those landings, they're pretty, I call them a landing, but some people would probably more accurately call them a crash. And the drink bag, if you actually hit the drink bag, has a super bad habit of actually squirting water into the back of your throat.
Like a Capri Sun.
So you could actually drown instead of
that would have been
after all that.
So after all that. So that didn't seem like such a good idea. So basically what you had to do is you had to prehydrate. You drank as much as you possibly could until about 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you didn't drink anything until you were already done. So you were absolutely going to go to the bathroom. So the high-tech technique that we used is actually the same ones that the astronaut used, which is a diaper.
Okay.
I thought it was a tubing system or something. It's a pamper.
We haven't learned anything in 40 years. They're still using diapers for some of the
mission control. How it depends.
That's amazing.
The funniest part of that story is, though, that my flight surgeon, John Clark, talked to me and he goes, Alan, you're going to have to practice going to the bathroom. And I said, really? How hard could this possibly be? And the truth is, your body is so ingrained to not go to the bathroom that except when you're in a approved location like the bathroom.
Or dreaming, or to have that dream when you think you're in the bathroom.
Yeah, when you actually try to go to the bathroom in a diaper, it's super hard.
You know what? We did that on the air one time. One by one, we stood there in Depends and stood there and looked at each other, and it's hard. Your body's like, what are you doing, you jerk?
It's the mechanics.
You're standing up in a radio studio, you asshole. Don't piss.
Yeah, everything shuts down. How long did it take for from beginning to end? Like it was like a 2-year process to figure out all this stuff?
So I spent about a year with just paper and pencil, Googling lots of different technologies and things to convince myself that it was actually possible. And then I made a phone call to Tabor McCallum of Paragon Space Development Corporation, and I was just asking him, here's what I've learned, and his company makes, extreme environment kind of suits, toxic waste kind of things, but they also make space environmental systems. So he is the one person on Earth in their company that actually spans both technologies that I would need to make this happen.
Wow.
And so from the time I made that call to the time that we were finished, was 3 years. So
3 years.
A little less than 3 years.
And how did you get people convinced? Like I don't know, everybody, the authorities. That,
how does that?
What was that guy?
We couldn't come up with this idea and go, we're going to do this.
Like the Paragon guy. What was his reaction when you told him what you wanted? Did he say you're out of your mind? Or?
Yeah. How do they sign off on it?
Right.
Well, it was kind of interesting because I didn't know it at the time.
Local governments.
Tabor was introduced to me by Peter Dimandis, who does the Lunar X Prizes and things like that. I mean, amazing guy. He's an author, and he knows pretty much everybody in this area. And Taylor was a personal friend of his. So he actually made the introduction. So I had one thing going for me is Peter, I had known for a long time. We had worked on other projects together, and he didn't think I was crazy. So that was the first end. But little did I know that Tabor and his wife Jane had been some of the people in Biosphere 2. So Biosphere 2 was a case where, they basically took, I think, 7 people, and they put them in a closed, sealed environment. And they asked the question of whether you could live in that closed, sealed environment, making all your own food, energy, all the things.
Pauly Shore movie. I know what you're talking about. I saw the movie in '97.
2 years. And so it turns out he's a member of the Explorers Club. He is the kind of person.
One of those guys.
And so he didn't just reject things immediately. He actually thought, and he did what I thought he would do. He basically went through the list of here are all the problems. And but I had spent a year researching it, so for me it was relatively straightforward for me to go through all of the things that he asked me, and at the end of, we talked for like an hour and a half, and so he said, well, I can't see anything that would make it impossible. At the end of that hour and a half,
that's all you have to hear, too.
He said, "Why don't you come and meet the team?" And I did. I flew down to Tucson, Arizona, and met their team. And before I knew it, the best people in the world had started to work on it.
Wow.
And he had started making phone calls on my behalf to, for instance, the spacesuit vendors, because if we can't find a spacesuit, it's a no-go.
Some of the testing was downright scary in this film because how do you say his name? Baumgarten?
Yeah, Felix Baumgarten.
All right. And how high up was he?
He went to 128,000 feet, and that smashed the previous record.
And what were you?
Joe Kittinger was 102,000. So he went 25,000 feet above that record. We went to 135,890 feet.
So you beat him by...
that's, roughly a mile, more than a mile. What makes
so you went a mile higher than he did.
Yeah. The reason that's hard is because for every 10,000 feet you want to go up, you need to double the size of the balloon.
Sure.
And he was already using the largest balloon that had ever been used to carry a man up. His balloon was 28 million cubic feet.
Fuck.
That he went up to. And so, but remember, he was lifting 3,200 pounds.
Right.
And we were lifting 605 pounds.
Right.
So we got this huge advantage by using a much smaller balloon to go to a much higher altitude.
Wait, your balloon was as big as a football field, they said, right?
It was, but it was still a lot smaller than his balloon.
How big was his then?
His was 28 million cubic feet, and mine was 11 million cubic feet.
So you're talking over 2 football fields for his, 2.5 football fields.
His was giant. But every time you want to go an extra 10,000 feet, you have to double the size of the balloon. So for him to get to our altitude, it would have required a balloon that was, 40 million cubic feet, which is way larger than anybody has ever launched before.
Size of a moon.
It's really funny in the movie they talk about the size of the balloon because you have no idea when you see these type of things. And it's like,
right, you're looking for something to...
Yeah, and they said the FAA frowns on the fact that there's a balloon as big as a football field just floating in the air.
Yes.
But what can they do? Can they stop you? Can they
No, you need permission from the FAA to launch a balloon of that size. But we had a guy on our team, Ken Sustine, who has been an Air Force test pilot, U-2 pilot, all this. And he has a very good relationship with the FAA, knows the right paperwork, knows the right people to talk to, and he was very kind. He worked with us on the project, and there's even a moment in the film where they say, cleared for 15 miles or something like that. And what that really meant is they talked to the guys at the FAA, and there's now a column of airspace above me for the entire route of the flight, and 15 miles across where that airspace is mine.
Wow.
And they are actually diverting jet aircraft around
all the way around
to give me that airspace. Of course, once I get up to, 45 or 50,000 feet, there's nobody else up there. Maybe there's a U-2 pilot at 70,000, but and at 135, there's nobody there. So anyway, I don't think they had to divert many people at that point.
I like it when the balloon catches fire, and it's like, well, maybe we won't launch today. And I'm like, what the fuck? How about maybe we don't launch ever?
Maybe we should go back to the drawing board.
I have to ask you one thing, because I laughed out loud, and I must have missed something. But here's these, I don't know, was it 20 or 40, say 20 engineers, the most brilliant people in America, and you and all these guys, and they put together this incredible project. And then you got in the plane, and they said, he can't fit out the back. Right. Like, did anybody fucking measure the plane? I thought you measured, Opie. No, Jack, I thought you measured. Did that really happen? Or was that?
It was.
Do you know what I'm talking about, right?
It was part of the testing, because they were dropping out of a plane at first to test out the suit.
He's going to go out the back door and say, all right, exit. Right. Ow! He hit his head.
So then they just put rollerblades on his special spacesuit
and made him roll out.
So he can roll out. That was after he banged his head the first time, or whatever the hell happened.
So I love that scene too, and I always crack up.
I laughed out loud. I'm like, you're kidding.
They figured everything out except the headroom.
Right. Right.
So the cause of that, the background on that is, we were going to use an airplane called a Sherpa, and a Sherpa can stand up and exit. But at the last minute, there was a problem with that airplane, and so we switched to an airplane that looks identical, called a Skyvan. So if you looked at the two of them side by side, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But there's one difference.
So you assumed.
I assumed. Everyone assumed we were going to go and jump out of a Sherpa, and we got a Skyvan instead. So it wasn't that we had mismeasured. It wasn't that.
I think you'd have to fire some people after that.
It was so. But it must have been funny when you realized.
And obviously the suit is so stiff that you can't bend down or any of that stuff. So the headroom thing is very important.
Yeah.
And the Baumgarten drop. What was horrifying about that was him spinning completely and utterly out of control, going, what was it, 80 miles an hour, 80 miles spinning or something like that?
No, he was, I mean, if you look at that and you're a skydiver, you're just terrified, honestly, because he's in an inverted, which means rather than being face down, he's actually face up.
Right.
Flat spin.
Right.
That's super fast. And he's going over the speed of sound.
Oh, okay. So, he's dropping, but the spin, how fast was...
He's spinning really fast. I don't know the exact things, but it was close. It was very close to blacking out. Matter of fact, I think there was an interview where he said, I was very close to backing out. As a matter of fact, I think he might have said, I might have blacked out during that. And so, when we saw that, it was like, okay, well, we really have to not just invent technology to allow me to get down, because our specification says we need to get an unconscious pilot to the ground safely. And Felix had to use essentially all of his skydiving knowledge to save that situation. And he did. He managed to right himself and stop the spin.
Wow.
But for us,
can you imagine how
that wasn't even allowed. We had to come up with a solution that would make those kinds of spins impossible, and we did. I mean, it took us a long time to build an anti-spin system, and we actually got some advice from the Red Bull team. They had done some research that was actually useful for us, and we ended up with a drogue configuration, which he didn't have, which is a small stabilizing parachute and a particular attachment point that essentially eliminated spins. And so for me, I actually, in my fall from 135,000 feet, for 50,000 feet, I did nothing. I kept my arms in and my legs in and concentrated on that, and I was dead on heading the entire time. So the amazing thing from a technology point of view is we solved a lot of interesting problems, but one of them that we're most proud of is that we solved the spin problem.
The spin problem.
Man.
That's a big problem.
Yeah.
Even in my high school, kids break dancing all the time.
I have one more annoying question. The other time that I laughed, you couldn't get out of the plane. But aside from that, poor Adam, he's on his way down, and it's time to release the parachute. He can't fucking reach it. He couldn't reach. He couldn't reach.
That was one of the tests.
He couldn't reach the thing. I'm like, That would have been a good idea.
I think you reached it, but it wasn't going, right?
Oh yeah, there was two problems.
Wait a fucking minute.
There were two problems, and they both were not particularly
He's in a
good.
special suit, right? He can't really move at all. His arms can move, obviously. He's pulling the ripcord, and it's not working.
It's
and he's got skydivers next to him that helped him out.
Oh, helped him and pulled it for him?
Oh, I thought you couldn't reach it.
I thought you reached it, but it wasn't going, right?
Yeah, no. So what happened was on the free fall, you're exactly right.
And that was a test out of the plane.
I reached for the main parachute, and I could do it on the ground, no problem. But I reached for the main parachute, and I tried to release the drogue. And when you release the drogue, it actually pulls out the main parachute. And when I pulled, I couldn't pull it enough to get it to release. And then I had another one on the other side. This is a redundant system, so I tried that one too, and neither of them released. And
Not even plates and spoons and stuff come out like in a cartoon?
Yeah, no. So,
and the truck probably won't be down there to pick us up either.
Bugs Bunny!
Acme!
But, this is one of the places where the film makes it a little more dramatic than it probably was, because I had safety divers. They of course, just came over and pulled the parachute. It was really easy for them to do. But even if that
didn't make it easy to do in the movie, he came in once and he came in twice.
It took twice for him to be able to get it, and we give him a hard time about that all the time, that he didn't catch it the first time. But here's the thing that they didn't talk about in the film. There was an automatic opener that we had installed, and if he hadn't touched it at all,
GPS would have clicked it on him.
So there's a barometer that would have kicked in, and it would open that parachute. And all of our testing with dummies was done using that automatic opener. And so we had a system that was super well tested that would open the parachute and guaranteed. So at 6,000 feet, that parachute was coming out, regardless.
But they didn't tell us that, Opie.
No.
I learned that on Fast and the Furious 7.
But the other problem was when I did open on that particular test, there was a strap that was preventing me from depressurizing the suit. And once I couldn't depressurize the suit, I couldn't reach the steering toggles, which meant that I was essentially like a wind dummy, traveling wherever the wind took me. So luckily, there's a lot of safe places to hit in Coolidge, Arizona. So it wasn't that big a deal. But it did mean the team had to find me relatively quickly after that.
Yeah, so finally, the day of the jump, how long does it take you to get up to 135,000 feet with a balloon?
2 hours and 7 minutes. I mean, the really cool thing about balloons is because they expand as they rise, they go at exactly the same speed. So from the time I left the ground to the time I got up to altitude, we were climbing at roughly 1,100 feet per minute. Which meant that when I left the ground, I could look at my watch and say, in 2 hours and 7 minutes or whatever, I'm likely to be there. And that's what happened.
What was going on? I wish they explained this a little more in the film. What was going through your head for those 2 hours and 7 minutes as you were just slowly getting up to 135,000 feet?
On this one, the heart rate monitor failed, not because my heart was going too fast, but because it actually failed on the ground because of a battery issue. But on the previous two, my heart rate was really low. I mean, probably 60 or 70 beats per minute. And the reason for that is, first, I was pretty confident, but the second thing is the more anxious you get, the more oxygen you use. And I was really conscious of oxygen usage. So it was really relaxing. I didn't move pretty much at all. Matter of fact, even the act of getting to the push-to-talk switch uses a lot of energy in one of these spacesuits. So they had a downward-facing camera, and I did all the acknowledgments with my leg. So I would just bend my leg when they said, you're going at this, altitude, or you've reached this particular checkpoint, and I would just raise my leg to acknowledge it. But mostly I was just thinking about the normal and emergency procedures. So if this went wrong, what would I do? If that didn't work, what would I do second? If both those two didn't work, what would I do third?
So you didn't tweet a lot?
No, there's no electronics.
Were you taking in the view though? Going, oh my goodness!
I was just, the nice thing about balloons is they actually rotate it really slowly.
Right.
So you actually get this beautiful 360.
It's like the Rainbow Room over there at the NBC building.
It's like, it's like this beautiful rotation the entire way up, and. You start out seeing like little pebbles on the ground, then you see people, then cars, then buildings, and then cities, and then states, and I mean, the view is just extraordinary.
Were you pointing out landmarks, going, "Wait a minute, I think that's"?
Oh yeah, you could.
What did you see up there?
Well, the funny thing is, people ask me, what's the farthest thing you can see?
It's like somebody's breaking into my house.
Yeah. So somebody said, what's the farthest thing you can see? And I expected to be able to see the Rocky Mountains and the Gulf of Mexico. Those are the two kind of farthest things. I couldn't see either of them. And it was interesting because of where I am in the atmosphere. There's actually a long line of atmosphere that you have to see across.
Right.
Basically, that prevents you from seeing as far as you would normally. So I could see like states, below me, and it was
There's no lines, right?
Yeah, for some reason
they don't look red and blue from up there.
Somebody has those stupid questions.
No red and blue.
Somebody has this.
That leads to my question, though. A lot of astronauts that have been, up there, they look at Earth and go, "It's so stupid that we don't get along." Because it's so obvious when you're that high up that we're one.
We're all one.
We're one in the universe.
It is definitely true that when you get up there, the first thing you notice is just how amazing, the landscape is below you, and the darkness of space and the curvature of the Earth and the very thin layers of the atmosphere, and how fragile the atmosphere is just becomes super apparent up there. I mean, it's, you think of the atmosphere as this huge, huge thing, but when you're up there, you see it as this tiny, fragile little layer above the Earth, and so you think a lot about, the environment in ways that you might, never have thought about them before. So you do get that kind of perspective that I think you would miss. And yes, there's no boundaries. You don't see, the differences across the Earth. So I think that's true. There's also there was a paper, I think, that was written a long time ago that I at least heard about that said, at some altitude you get detached, you no longer feel like you're an earthling anymore, and you might want to stay up there forever and not come back down. So I can dispel that myth right here. When I got up there, I was
you were ready to go home, man.
Wow.
And then you release, and how long is the free fall again?
So it was 4 minutes, 27 seconds.
Of free falling.
Of free fall, which is a long, long time. I must say, I kept looking at my altimeter. But the really interesting thing about the free fall is the moment you release, you're falling at exactly, obviously, the speed of gravity. So in your perspective, you're in 0G. And I had a very slow backflip that was happening, which I didn't have on the two lower altitude balloon flights. But what that meant is I actually got to, in slow motion, see the balloon go by, because I normally would never have seen it if I was just face to Earth. So I saw it go by once, and then I saw it go by a second time.
Wow.
And then I felt this beautiful, what's called a saber system, which was a way to keep me from entangling with my drogue parachute during that part of the fall. And I felt that grab, and I felt myself be righted. And then I started this, movement and pitch, which, it's kind of, it reminded me of those roosters in the water where you kind of go up and down a little bit as you get these pitch oscillations the whole rest of the way. But anyway, it's a beautiful thing. And the amazing thing is there's no atmosphere. You're speeding up, but there's no atmosphere to slow you down. So that's how you end up, like in 37 seconds, breaking the speed of sound. And then at 51 seconds, you're going like Mach 1.22, 822 miles an hour. But it's silent, totally silent.
Wow.
And then you start hearing some sound, and that means the atmosphere
is coming closer.
Yeah, that means the atmosphere is thick enough so it can start to slow you down.
Wow.
And so by the time you hear something, it means you're decelerating, which is so different. When we're in a car or something, sound and speed are correlated.
Yeah.
The louder it is, the faster you're going. But it's exactly the opposite there. You're starting to slow down from 822, and by the time I get to 10,000 feet above the ground, I'm going, a measly 120 miles an hour.
When you're going that fast, is the perspective changing, or do you not have any sense of perspective?
Oh, no, it definitely changes. The perspective changes.
You know that you're getting closer.
Oh, absolutely. Oh. Yeah.
I guess it's a stupid question. But
No. You definitely see the perspective changing as you go down. You see, the blackness of space goes away. Now you get a relatively normal atmosphere. You see the buildings and towns and stuff get bigger. You see the patchwork of fields below because they have big circles and crop circles and stuff. So you see them getting, closer and closer. But it's so funny because I opened at 10,000 feet. And the next time my sisters were interested in doing a tandem jump. So my next jump was from 10,000 feet. And it was in DeLand, Florida, with a bunch of my friends doing acting as tandem instructors for my sisters. And I look out the door, and it looked so low on that jump. It was
jumping off a stoop.
I felt like I was bungee jumping.
Oh my God,
that is crazy.
So that was 135,000 feet. Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
25 miles, just about, right? So we're wrapping up. Can we go higher than that?
I think there's I think it's possible to potentially do one more balloon record. If I had used my system and Felix's balloon, so Felix's balloon was much bigger than mine and therefore would have taken me a lot higher.
Right.
I think you could get to maybe 145,000 feet. But after that, you're going to need something else like rockets. And so I know people are starting to think about using my kind of system, but using rockets to get higher. And, I think that'll be interesting. And then, maybe someday somebody will decide to, try to get down from the International Space Station using a system like that. Personal re-entry vehicle. So it's a problem that I've actually thought about, and I think is particularly interesting.
Well, obviously someone's going to try to beat 135,000.
I'd like to be there the next time you try and sell the next trip to your wife. Are you sitting down, honey?
No. That's the show right there.
That's it?
That went fast. Alan Eustace.
But wait a minute.
pleasure.
When is this going to be a great adventure? When do we get to do it, the regular people? When is this going to be a ride where I can go on?
Actually, that's my team. One of the things that my team did is, when I landed, they started a company called Worldview. And their idea is to build a capsule that can hold 6 people, 2 pilots, has a bathroom and a bar, and will take you on the same ride I did, not to 135, but to 100,000 feet. And then the cool thing is you'll just get to float around there. You'll get to see the view for a while.
We doing it.
As soon as you sell out the garden, you can buy a ticket.
We're not doing it.
Yeah. But the really cool thing is rather than falling in free fall, they've got a fully open parachute. So when you drop, that parachute's already open. And then you glide back down.
Glide back down.
We're running out of show. Alan, the movie was terrific. It's called 14 Minutes from Earth. Out now on digital HD and on demand. Jackie the Joke Man, quick, because we're running out of show.
Thursday night at 9 p.m. at the Wythe Hotel, we, as part of the Williamsburg Film Festival, I'm in Shoot Me Nicely. Elias Plagiano's great sitcom pilot. And December 3rd, 7 p.m., I'm at Governor's McGuire's in Bohemia. Please come out, 7 p.m., December 3rd.
All right, Sherrod.
Yes, you got Race Wars this Wednesday. We got new shows. Check it on our Patreon.com/Race Wars. And, Black and White, and the ESPN show, ESPN Radio, Sherrod Sports.
Busy. Thanks for listening. See you.
Thank you, Opie.
Tomorrow. Thank you, Jackie.